Welcome, everybody, for another exciting football season. We're here on a wonderful Friday night under the lights. The weather is beautiful. We're here at Panther Stadium. Tonight, we're going to be seeing a kind of a rare early season matchup against with two powerhouses. The E-Town Panthers here at Panther Field, defending their home stadium, and our defending 4A state champion, Franklin Simpson Wildcats. I'm Paul Gray. I'm here with Jeff Knoll tonight for this amazing early season matchup. Jeff, what do you see tonight?
Well, I see a good game, and I'm thinking that Franklin Simpson's coming here with a little bit of payback from last year. They started off in their home field last year with E-Town going down there and pretty much giving it to them, and pretty well. And then they go on, 12-3 season and win the state championship 4A. So I'm thinking they're excited about this game tonight, Paul.
We're going to have a couple of fired-up football teams. Obviously, Franklin Simpson coming off that great championship season, and as Jeff mentioned, they lost last year 55-23 to the E-Town Panthers in their home stadium. And tonight, I agree, they're going to be looking for some paybacks. You've got a very experienced Franklin Simpson team returning 10 offensive starters. Maybe 5 or 6 defensive starters, and a really young E-Town football team.
Yeah, on the other side, you're looking at how many that E-Town was depleted quite a bit. But yet, there's a lot of respect out there. You could tell from from both coaches, they're respecting both programs. And obviously, they were really expecting, E-Town to bring it to them. But if I would say, as we look, if Franklin Simpson has any weakness, it'll be their defense. They lost so many on their defense. That's really where they took the hit, right?
Well, I think so. Coach Preston, Doug Preston is the coach of Franklin Simpson. Mark Brown, the head coach for E-Town Panthers. And so we've got two great football coaches. Mark Brown won a state championship in Nelson County.
Absolutely.
And was obviously a force at John Hardin. Doug Preston has been to state championship games at Bullitt East. Was very successful at Western in Louisville, and now coming off of a state championship season here at Franklin Simpson with the Wildcats. So we've got great football coaches. We've got two great programs coming off of amazing seasons. E-Town went to the state semis last year and won just a really close, low-scoring ball game. They lost, in the semis to Boyle County last year.
Right.
So you got two teams coming off of great seasons. Powerhouses in their respective divisions, and I'm sure expectations are high among the fans. Expectations are high among the players. I'm sure both these teams believe in themselves.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be a lot of fun.
And it's football. It's this time, man. And it's just exciting because here it is, the very first game of the year. Great weather. You and I both know, man, you get itchy about this time of year.
Oh, yeah, I'm an old coach. And I'm almost wishing I was down there on that sideline, but we're gonna have a great time tonight up here in the booth watching this game, along with everybody else at home. Well, let me just take just a moment here. One of the great things about what we do here with Hardin County Television is that we have sponsors, people who are really interested in our young people and in supporting our young people. We've got some young people on the cameras tonight, and it's just a great opportunity for learning and to highlight our young athletes as well as people working behind the cameras. So we just want to take a moment here. I'm just going to read off a few of our sponsors. If you know these folks, you see them, thank them for supporting our young people.
Support them. Absolutely.
This is an HCEC-TV student production, Division of Hardin County Schools. Special thanks to our live sports coverage sponsors, Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, eTownApartments.com, Bluegrass Cellular, E-Town Exterminating, and West Point Bank. So thanks
to
all those guys, and you'll hear us reminding you of their support throughout the evening. We can't do this without that support, run this great telecast, and we're just very thankful for their support.
It's a great community. It's on moments like this when we realize how blessed we are to live in this place,
It is the best. You're right, and we're going to see a lot of great football this year from all of our Hardin County schools, including E-Town, including Central Hardin, John Hardin, and North Hardin. And it's just going to be a lot of fun, just like every Friday night under the lights
What a gorgeous stadium this is. If anyone, has not had the opportunity to be here and see this, it's just a beautiful facility.
Well, I'm glad people are watching at home, but you ought to get out every now and again.
Yeah, there's something about it. You're so right. it's been a while since I've been out to one, and I'm thinking, why aren't I here every Friday night?
That's right. We've got the band on the field making the tunnel, and the cheerleaders on the field making the tunnel and cheering. And
just make sure I don't go running out there anytime soon. So.
I'll hold you back, Jeff. We're ready for the toss, the coin toss here. We've got some of our senior starters. We've got, E-Town, we've said, has lost a lot of their producers last year. Jay Becker, who scored 25 touchdowns last year and rushed for over 1,000 yards, has graduated. They've lost him to graduation. Cass Disney, Tyler Durbin, and quarterback Donovan Husky. A bunch of guys, Derek Smith, who were big producers, were seniors last year.
Right.
But we're expecting Joseph Becker to just kind of fill the shoes and be fantastic. Right. At quarterback, Clay Games,
I'm really
sophomore.
Excited. I'm excited to see how he does this
Well,
year.
Clay's going to be a fantastic player, but you got your first start against a defending state champ. This is exciting stuff for a young quarterback. So
absolutely,
we'll see how he does.
Yeah, and Joseph Becker, as you said, the dude's a ball player, and he looks the part, and so glad he's still here to produce, and so it'll be interesting to see how they pull it together. Both quarterbacks are young.
Absolutely. We got a freshman and a sophomore going tonight. Sophomore on E-Town side. Freshman quarterback Luke Richardson with his first start taking over at the helm.
I wonder if he had much playing time last year.
Maybe a little in some blowouts. I'm sure he may have seen the field, but he would have been an 8th grader last year. They had a senior, Rylan Thomas, last year, who was their quarterback. What you folks can expect to see tonight is two teams pounding the football. The Franklin Simpson Wildcats rushed for over 5,000 yards last year and threw for about 850. E-Town will mix it up a little bit more, running. Both teams are wing T football teams. We'll talk about that a lot tonight. That's one of the most well-run and common offenses you'll see at the high school level. Mark Brown has parlayed the wing T offense into the great success he's had. But you'll see them in the spread a little bit, taking advantage of some of their great athletes as well. A little bit more pass-heavy, but they'll be run-oriented as well. So we'll see two teams that will be physically trying to take each other down.
Pretty excited about their wide receiver, watching him go to work tonight. He's a big boy, and he was their leading receiver last year. So here we go. Here comes the E-Town Panthers.
There they come. Impressive, led by number 8, Noah Peeler, a great running back and defensive end. We're excited to see his production tonight. As Jeff was talking about, number 2 for Franklin Simpson, Javon Covington, is a 6'5" wide receiver. They only threw for 878 yards last year, but Javon caught for 501 of those yards, and he was their main producer in the pass offense. You're going to find out why tonight. 6'5", impressive physical specimen, and boy, it's going to be fun to watch him. We just got to see if the possibly undersized defensive backs from E-Town can match up with that kid and handle him.
He really is. He's just a lot of ball player out there. I will be shocked if there's not some college scouts in every game.
There's got to be a few in the bleachers right now. And we'll also mention, obviously we said that E-Town had lost a lot of their main production, but Franklin Simpson has their leading rusher returning, number 10, senior Trey Bass. He rushed for 1,457 yards last year. And so you're going to see some great football tonight. And here we are.
Excited.
Lining it up.
Ready for the kickoff.
Brandon Parsons, 82, ready to kick off for the E-Town Panthers.
Back to receive.
It's number 10, Trey Bass.
Number 10, Trey Bass, and number 8 is Noah Peeler. I'm sorry. Cullen Preston. And he's taking it right up the middle.
He's
number 6. He's just got one man to beat. And he's caught. Brought down at the 14-yard line.
Run down by number 17, Love Grimes. 11th grade defensive back. Nice defensive play. Boy, that is a shot in the arm. I'm telling you, we talked about how physical and how experienced this Franklin Simpson team is they've got 5 returning offensive linemen. Those guys are big up front.
Leandre Stutzman was the receiver on that one.
Okay. His jersey's a little caught up. It was hard to see. It was 6, not 8.
And it absolutely was. So here we are. They're actually right on the 15-yard line.
All right, we got 3 wide. 1 in the backfield for Franklin Simpson Wildcats.
Brought down about 2 yards.
So number 9, Carlos McKinney, on a 3-yard gain over the left side. Carlos is a load. That's a big fellow there running at fullback.
He's their horse out of the backfield.
He is the horse. 10 Bass will be their probably their main runner, but number 9, McKinney, is a big fella, big fullback. 2nd and 7. Tight trips to the right. Luke Richardson, quick handoff to Trey Bass around the right side. Stutter steps. Easily into the end zone. They got the defensive end flanked. Number 11, Calvin Griffin for the E-Town Panthers could not make the play from the cornerback position. That's tough when you're a corner out on the island with a stud running back running right at you to make that play. And
coming out on the wide side, he had a lot of room to work
Trey
with.
Bass was in the end zone easily there. Tough start for the Panthers.
It was, but we get to see the offense that much earlier.
Yes, that's right.
I imagine we're going to get a heavy dose of number 10, Trey Bass.
I agree.
All night long.
Agree.
I think the brought down on the going for 2 on the extra point. Brought down, so failed to convert the 2-point conversion.
That could be big. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen down the road, but anytime you can't convert on your extra point.
As a former coach, I'm sure that always aches you just a little bit.
I've coached some teams where we had D1 kickers and some teams where it looked like the guy was kicking it with the side of his foot and the wrong side of his foot. And it's important. Every time you're putting points on the board, it can make a big difference. So
absolutely.
We'll see if that doesn't come back to haunt them a little later.
So it looks like Joseph Becker is our return man for E-Town. And number 17, Love Grimes, are our 2 deep men.
Love Grimes made a great play on the kickoff to run down number 6 from Franklin Simpson, but they weren't able to hold.
At least made him earn it.
Made him earn it. That's right. That's right. You want to see effort plays like that when you're a coach in the special teams. I'm sure they're not real pleased with starting off the season, giving up a big return like that. But I don't know if it translates on TV, but as you look at this kickoff team from Franklin Simpson, it's a pretty good-looking group.
It's a big team.
Yeah, they're big and athletic and hungry for.
They are the Wildcats, and they do resemble.
They do
in terms of their colors.
Cole Hollingsworth on the kickoff is going to be taken at the 8-yard line by Joseph Becker. Up the middle.
Right up the middle.
Hitting the seam.
He's moving those legs and moving all the way up to about the 35, 36-yard line. Nice run back.
Good return. Obviously not the
job.
Kind of return that Franklin Simpson, the Wildcats, got on their first one, but that's what you want. You want field position, and they've returned it out to their 36-yard line where they'll take over 1st and 10. Well, here we see
our young quarterback Clay Games going to work here.
The give to Joseph Becker over the left side out of the shotgun. Basically no gain on the play, maybe a yard.
Give him a good spot on that.
Well, the Wildcats, as Coach Preston told us before the game, are in a 4-man front. You expect to see possibly a lot of passing from E-Town if they can't get him out of that 4-man front. But they're facing a 4-4 defense with a cover 3 zone. They're in the spread. We got a speed option and the pitch.
And he's taking it out around.
Good pitch by Clay Games, and Joseph Becker
there
for another 6 yards or so. Looks like it's going to bring up, what, about a 3rd and 2?
It's manageable.
Absolutely.
An absolute manageable 3rd down.
Ooh, they've moved it back just a little bit on the spot, so 3rd and 3 from the 43-yard line. Noah Peeler coming out of the game.
Going to load up the backfield here.
Now we got trips left, 4 wide. Becker wide to the left. They're running sprint out left.
To the left. Pass is way out of bounds.
Well, there's our first attempt for Clay, and got away from him a little bit. He was maybe a little early game nerves. Yeah, number 5, Camden Williams, it looked like open in the flat on just a simple out route. You had trips over here and trying to flood the zone and run a quick out, get an easy one in the flat, and you only needed 3 yards there. Ball way overthrown. I tell you, Jeff, when you got a young quarterback and you're rolling out to the left with a right-handed quarterback, tough throw to start off. And so it looks like Clay will be deep to punt.
You know, you see that. Ooh, shallow punt, pretty much straight up in the air. And going
that's a
out.
shank.
Yes, it is.
That's out of bounds to the right. They're probably only going to gain about 10 to 15 yards on that effort.
You know, you see that roll out to the left with on pros and college and Division I college. You see it so often, and those guys make it look so easy, and it just makes you forget. That is absolutely, from a quarterback perspective, one of the most difficult things to do. That probably the next hardest is to roll to your right and throw back across field.
Yeah, that's dangerous is what that is. You're going to get yourself in trouble doing that.
That's right there. But
ask Brett Favre.
Yeah, absolutely.
He threw a few picks doing that. All right, so the Wildcats will take over on their own 40-yard line, 1st and 10. Again, we got McKinney in the backfield, 3 wide, 1 tight end to the right. We're a little scissors trap inside to Bass for about 3 yards.
We contained him for 3. That's good. Good D.
One of the things you'll see, Jeff, as we're looking at the both of these wing T offenses, you'll see a lot of misdirection, a lot of ball handling by the quarterbacks trying to deceive the defense. You'll see a lot of pulling and trapping from the guards and tackles. And that was a classic scissors play where you're trying to make it look like it's going one direction and the wing back comes back inside on the other direction. So, all right, 2nd down, about 8 yards to go. Again, 4 wide, tight end and wing right. Quick give on the left of McKinney, and he is running people over. Tough kid. Wow.
Definitely picked up a 1st down and a few more on that one.
Carlos McKinney, we're talking about, is 6'1", 238 pounds. He is a load, number 9.
It's a big kid.
For Franklin Simpson, and so, yeah, workhorse. Trey Bass, their leading rusher from last year, scored their lone touchdown so far, and he is tough to tackle. Man, Carlos McKinney is a load.
He gets moving once he crosses that middle plane. It makes it even more difficult. Up to about the 45 on the E-Town side.
Franklin Simpson, reverse of the formation they just were in. Tight end left. Here's Bass on the buck sweep to the left side. Pick up a 5. Buck sweep is a staple of the, along with the trap, is a staple of the wing T offense. You see both guards pulling to the tight end wing back side. Fullback going the opposite direction to try to create deception, just like we saw the fullback with the ball a minute ago. So it looks like they're giving it to him, and here comes a wing back or a running back coming the other way.
Pick up 4 or 5 yards on those, you're a satisfied coach.
Especially as much as they run the football. We're about 2nd and 4 here. Wing T left offensive set.
Here we go. Back to the right side.
Look at that jump cut.
Got a penalty. We may have some offensive.
That is
holding.
Number 12, Tedrick Partinger for the Wildcats. Big gain, but yeah, it's coming back, Jeff.
Holding. Imagine that.
You know, when you're pulling and those guards are in space, now we've got a really experienced offensive line, but you get those big guys in space and they're trying to block these little quick outside linebackers and defensive backs. They got a tendency to get their hands out and grab a hold of something they can't catch.
As a former offensive center, yeah. Played a little bit of guard, but mostly center, and there are just those times when things switch up on you and you do what you can. Sometimes you don't get away with it.
So break for the Panthers. It's going to be 2nd and 11 from the Panther 46-yard line. Again, we're tight end right, trips right with one back. Change of quarterback. Trey Bass at quarterback. The running back up under center. And another flag.
Do we have some offsides here? Yes, we do. On the offense, another break for the Panthers.
That'll make it about 2nd and 17. Back on the Franklin Simpson side of the 50-yard line. And Luke Richardson, our starting quarterback for the Franklin Simpson Wildcats, back onto the field. So some kind of little Wildcat under center thing there. Trey Bass going to quarterback. I don't know exactly what was going to happen there. We had a penalty and didn't get the full feel of what was going on there. But Luke Richardson back at quarterback. All right, wing T left.
Nice spin move. Wow, he's gone.
Yeah.
He is out around the side.
Look at the speed.
He is not going to be caught.
Oh, stepped out of bounds at the 8.
He stepped out.
He lost his balance.
He did. He took the pylon with him, but he just stepped out. That's got to be about on the 6-inch yard line.
I'm telling you, E-Town is getting a steady dose of Carlos McKinney up inside, and every time they fake the ball up in there, it is the linebackers are reacting so quickly. You've really got to be – one of the things that happens as a linebacker against this wing T offense, you really have to read your keys correctly. You've got to keep your eyes on those guards. They'll take you to the ball. There was a guard pulling out to the left, and those linebackers didn't see it. They're jumping on the fullback, and away goes Trey Bass up the left side.
It worked well.
1st and goal from the 8. Wing T right. Carlos McKinney behind the quarterback. Hand to the fullback.
Right up the middle.
Easy.
And he's in the end zone.
I'm telling you, you're really starting to see the very experienced, very large offensive line of Franklin Simpson doing some real business here. And as much as E-Town may have put it to these guys last year, you can see a much different Franklin Simpson team. Actually, you see the same
and just
team,
as a
state
reminder,
champions.
That's a freshman quarterback we're watching.
Freshman quarterback.
Their coach was not wrong. He is poised. There's no nervousness out there. I don't see that at all.
He hasn't had to throw the football yet, but boy, he's the ball handling is great. It's really difficult for E-Town to figure out who's got the football. Again, the deception of the wing T offense being worked to perfection.
And with 2 touchdowns this early in the
Cole
game.
Hollingsworth knocking it through. Boy, Joseph Becker almost had that one. But
sure did.
Cole Hollingsworth knocking it through for the extra point. 13-0, Franklin Simpson.
Well, here we go. One more opportunity for our return team. See if we can put this together.
Let's just take a moment here again to remember one of our sponsors, Physical Therapy Associates. More personal attention for more effective results. With locations in Elizabethtown, Hodgenville, Radcliffe, Brandenburg, Bardstown, and Louisville. Online at physicaltherapyky.com. So Physical Therapy Associates. Thank you. Well, tough start for the Panthers.
Down 2 touchdowns
on an exciting Friday night. Yeah, we're looking for something really competitive. I think both coaches expressed that to us pregame that they really thought there'd be a good game.
Definitely had to respect the Franklin Simpson coach's attitude towards E-Town. He certainly didn't in any way indicate he felt like they were going to come in here and walk away with this one. That was certainly not his attitude.
You can understand that getting beat 55-23 last
year. Correct. Even though you go on to win the state championship and you're playing a 3A school,
right,
from a 4A position, and but.
Well, you can see the youth, the inexperience from E-Town. Probably what they lost last year, a bunch of really valuable seniors.
Right.
We've got. I don't want anybody to think that this is not a talented team. This is a very talented but very young E-Town team. And the kick is away. 17 Love Grimes deep to about the 3-yard line to receive.
Yeah, he went way back to get that. He's pulling it out. Looks like he's got it out about around the 20-yard line.
17 Grimes on return for the Panthers.
Tackle by number 11, Andrew Ogles. Boy, Andrew laid a lick on him.
I was going to say, he paid for that 20 yards.
The thing you like to see there that I liked out of what I saw from Andrew there was a good form tackle. Not putting his head in it, chest to chest. Good, with all the concussion concerns. That's the kind of tackle you're looking to see right there.
It is
very
really
well
good
done.
to see
and
that.
physical, but still
Absolutely.
physical. All right, wing T left. E-Town in their very typical wing T formation. And you see both guards pulling out the lead. Noah Peeler with the ball. Nice stiff arm. Ooh, he switched the ball into the inside arm right at the end of that run, showing a little bit of inexperience there. But, boy, great run, good play, 5-yard pickup.
Considering he was almost down, it was about a 3 or 4 yard loss.
If you're not familiar with the wing T offense, again, just take a moment every now and again to watch the guards. We had both guards pulling to lead that play to the left this time. Every now and again, that'll give you a good clue as to what's going on. Double wing this time, tight end left. Jet sweep right, good cut.
Joseph Becker right up the middle. Very nice cut. Turned that upfield. Well, he squares his shoulders and heads downtown. It's going to take a little bit to bring him down.
That jet sweep, Jeff, is meant to be obviously a play that's going to get the edge, but that time it opened up. The defensive end on Franklin Simpson doing a great job of widening, making sure he didn't lose contain, but there was a hole up inside.
But it opened up that gap, and, man, he turned on a dime to cut that up the middle.
All right, wing T left formation again. Play action pass. Deep throw. We got a man open.
Got him open.
Oh, my goodness. Right through the hands of number 5, Camden Williams. So there you go. On his second throw of the game, Andy Gaines right on the money, Jeff.
Beautiful throw. Absolutely.
About 35, 40 yards downfield. A nice play action pass call on 1st and 10. You love to do that on 1st and 10 because you're expecting that to be a rundown.
Missed it on that one, but you know what? He may have just loosened up some running game right there.
Well, you'd hope so. If you're looking at what's going on the defensive front, they're in a 4-4, and those linebackers are crowding the line. They're not at their normal 5-yard depth. They're up.
They really
They're
are.
Tight to the line of scrimmage.
They are right on it.
Double reverse there. Often called the crisscross or scissors trap.
There we go.
Yeah, 9-yard run.
Trajan Bradley.
First carry for Trajan, and that's a good comeback play after a
very nice
incomplete pass in 2nd and 10. It's going to give you a 3rd and 2.
About 5 yards of that was just all him. He was pulling some Klingons there along the way.
That's right. Timeout, Franklin Simpson. 3rd and 2, big down for both squads. E-Town trying to get a little momentum, and Franklin Simpson obviously wanting to stop.
Also see we're sponsored by the eTownApartments.com with by Mark Harris Construction. And take a virtual tour today at eTownApartments.com.
Well, Mark Brown trying to rally the troops here. I don't think we would have expected E-Town to do anything but get off the mat after a couple of tough early first quarter series. And they're running the football effectively right now.
Mark's too experienced of a coach to let his boys get down after that. He had so much respect for this team coming in here. He certainly didn't underplay at all E-Town's talent, but I think he understood what he was up against tonight, and no way is he going to let his team get down this early, regardless of what that score is.
Well, we got 6:09 to go in the first quarter, 13-0 on a beautiful evening here at Panther Field. As you all know, we've had some rain today.
Hoping we don't
have
any
keeping our
more.
Eyes on the horizon, but right now it's gorgeous.
Flags are still
right,
blowing
3rd and 2.
nicely. Here we go.
Wing T to the right, fullback
right
up the middle. Whoa.
Did he fumble?
Trajan Bradley. No, just running guys over. That's about a 5 or 6 yard gain.
Once again, he has got some power.
Well, built low to the ground, like a lot of great running backs. I love to see the big running backs like Carlos McKinney, the fullback there from Franklin Simpson. But, boy, there's something about that low to the ground build. It's hard to get a hold of.
You know, the old adage in football, whoever's lowest is the one that usually wins. And, boy, that pays off in so many ways.
Absolutely. All right, wing T, double wing, tight end right.
Sweep to the left.
Basic sweep to the left with a guard pull leading. We've got a flag on the play. Good pickup, 5 to 6 yard pickup.
Did you see a late hit on that?
I think we're going to have a holding penalty. We've got a coach, one of E-Town's coaches, not real happy with one of his players. I think Joseph Becker may have gotten caught holding. He's the wing back on the side. Ooh, I'm wrong. We got a face mask on Franklin Simpson, and we will have a first down.
Well, it looked
E-Town
like
Panthers.
He threw it right in the area of the tackle, so that's what I was wondering if it was something to do with
I think Coach wasn't happy with a missed block, possibly.
That may very well be.
I've seen that before, I think. E-Town has the football in the Franklin Simpson end of the field on the 43-yard line. First and 10 Panthers.
Looking good. Nice sustained drive here.
Double wing.
Timeout.
Got an equipment issue. That's right, Jeff.
Malfunction going on here. You cannot have exposed shoulder pads.
Number 3, Jamon Bristol, getting some help from his teammate Joseph Becker, getting that fixed. Ready to go. All right, there's that counter play, the scissors trap. In fact, the wingback was being led by his tight end, who was pulling to lead up into the hole, and a pickup of about 1 yard on first down, so it'll be 2nd and 9. May not have got a thing, did he, Jeff?
Actually, I think he may have lost about 6 inches on that.
He might have. Franklin Simpson not coming out of their 4-4 cover 3 look. They've got 2 deep corners and a deep safety in the middle of the field.
Boy, those outside linebackers are hugging that line tight. They are barely off of it. Completed pass.
All right, Trajan Bradley in the flat. One of the things you'll see again with this wing T offense, whether you want to call it the waggle pass or something called the tag pass, you're going to see a lot of backs out of the backfield into the short flat, and it's number 6, Trajan Bradley, leaking out of the backfield on what we call waggle, faking to the back, coming around on the sweep, and then looking for the corner route or the back in the back out of the backfield into the flat.
It's a good-looking play. Boy, you know, it's another version ultimately of the screen when you really think about that. And
easy short completion. That's important for our young quarterback.
And every now and then it breaks open.
It does. 3rd and 7, trips right into the short side of the field. One receiver left, or looking left. Quick
down
slant.
The field.
Oh,
he
my
hung
goodness.
On.
No, he dropped it.
He did not. He dropped it right at the end.
Number 3, Jamon Bristol, had an opportunity. Good throw
Very
by Andy.
Good throw.
I did it. Clay Games, Andy's his dad. Clay Games makes a great throw to Jamon out there. Jamon just couldn't hang on. Hit him in the chest.
Yeah.
He had a hold of it. Great defensive play on the edge by the Franklin Simpson Wildcats.
I think we've seen him throw 4 times tonight, and 3 of those were right on the money.
He's starting to get it together.
Yeah.
First throw was a little shaky, tough throw, but he's putting it on the money right now.
That first throw, as you said, was the most difficult, rolling left. Here we go.
Clay back in punt formation. Deep, I believe, is Trey Bass to receive. Good punt this time.
Down on the 9-yard line.
Well, winning the field position battle right here. Now we got the defense for E-Town needs to get out on the field and do their job. I mean, it's a tough task we're seeing, but
it is.
Let's see if there's any new wrinkles or anything different Coach wants to do to try to stop the Franklin Simpson Wildcats.
Looks like we have a pretty good turnout here tonight for the first game.
Student section's fired up down here in front of us. There's a big crowd of the students here for the E-Town Panthers.
I can barely see them in those bright yellow neon
That's right.
T-shirts.
We've got 1st and 10 from their own 10-yard line. 3 wide to the right. Give up the middle. Carlos McKinney again, man. Oh, ball on the ground.
Ball on the ground. E-Town's ball.
Panthers.
E-Town's ball.
Big hit. Put the helmet right on the football.
Hit.
Beautiful.
Excellent tackle.
That's the kind of play that can change the momentum completely. Boy, Carlos McKinney had 15 yards and rumbling again. And one of the defensive backs for E-Town put his helmet right on the football. And beautiful tackle. Very alert to jump on the ball.
1st and 10 on a fumble on the 25-yard line. Coach Gray, are you going for the end zone on this one?
You know, quick turnarounds off of turnovers is a hallmark of a lot of coaches. They love to take a shot. But I look for Mark to try to pick up a few here and sustain something into the end zone.
Trying to establish that steady offense.
Yeah. We've got a helmet issue from somebody. Unsnapped.
They've been having helmet issues for months.
That's right. All right.
Here we go.
2 wide left. Play action rolling to his left. Clay has a little space. He's looking for Noah Peeler, a little bit overthrown. Again, rolling to his left. See Coach Brown talking to Clay out there on the field. I think he's noting that there was a lot of open real estate if he would have run the football there. That's the kind of choices that young quarterbacks.
Yeah,
I know that
he really did.
When a lot of quarterback coaches will tell you, if you're a quarterback and you see 5 to 10 yards of green grass in front of you and nobody there, take it.
It's free ground.
It's free ground, and
he probably could have gotten 10 yards on that and still gotten out of bounds.
Double wing, 2nd and 10. Draw back. They're looking to set up a screen in the middle.
And they
complete
Camden
to number
Williams.
5. Moderate pickup of about 4 or 5 yards. Boy, it looked pretty impressive starting there. I'm sure you saw that on TV. It looked really open over the middle.
It closed up quick. They closed
I'm telling
very
you, Franklin
quickly.
Simpson was moving to the ball. That's one of the hallmarks of a great defense is they're all 11 are taught to run to the football. So that's
this D,
good defense.
The coach may have been a little nervous about their D, but it's not their first rodeo.
No, a few of these guys have played some football. Trips left, rolling left. Good shot, Noah Peeler. Toe dancing on the sideline. Great catch.
Nice catch. Beautiful toe dance on the sideline there.
Noah Peeler for about 8 yards and a first down on the out route.
Down to the 13.
One of the things that's when you're in a trips formation like that, it's a classic pass route is to run people off and then have the out route. So clear the zone and running out into that area, into the flat.
I like what I'm seeing on this drive. The last couple of drives, even though they came up short, definitely seeing.
2-yard run for Trajan Bradley. Trajan, that's an impressive 2-yard run there.
It is.
Jump cut a guy who had him in the backfield, made him miss. Carried the next guy for about 2 yards. So 2-yard gain, it'll be 2nd down and 8.
Did a little Le'Veon Bell jump cut
there. That's right, from the 12-yard line. All right. I was thinking Barry Sanders, but
a little more classic there.
All right, double wing from about the 11 or 12-yard line. Toss to Joseph Becker around the right side.
He's got some real estate.
Late hit out of bounds.
Absolutely.
Well,
I don't see any yellow flags.
I don't see a flag. Great run by Joseph Becker. He gets the edge. He was looking for some space to cut it up and try to get in the end zone.
Fans certainly want to throw. He was tagged. I mean, it's hard to tell on this side of the field how far out he was, but he was definitely.
Well, he got strung out pretty good there. There was nowhere to cut it back, but he was able to outrun the contain, and
he's coming off the field.
He picked up a first down. I mean, they're first and goal from about the 3-yard line, and great opportunity to get back in this ball game for the Panthers.
Nice play. I mean, it seems pretty devastating to be down 2.
Left. With the wide receiver to the left. It's an extra man to the left side.
Trajan is in there for the TD. Trajan Bradley, touchdown, E-Town.
Fantastic. Very powerful run.
Nice run right up the middle.
We wondered from the beginning, who would replace Jay Becker and all his production, and we're getting that from his little brother Joseph, but Trajan Bradley's making some really nice runs here late in the first quarter.
It's good to see.
Brandon Parsons on for the extra point. Number 82.
It's amazing how therapeutic that end zone is.
Up and good. Nice kick. Good leg.
Well, that missed extra point is looming a little larger right now than it did a few minutes ago.
Absolutely. E-Town Panthers back in the ball game. We were promising a good night of football, and
it's coming around,
it's starting to deliver. A little concerning early, but a big turnover. Turnovers make all the difference, and now
definitely the play of the game so far.
Good, absolutely. That's turns it all around. All right, back to our sponsors. Bluegrass Cellular, offering the most affordable, unlimited plan anywhere where wireless works. Visit us at bluegrasscellular.com.
Probably the best coverage in the E-Town and surrounding area as well.
A little extra commercial from Jeff Knoll there. Absolutely. No comment. But I agree. My wife is using that, and I'm using something else. And she's doing a lot better than I am.
There you go.
I won't comment on their competitor, but Bluegrass Cellular does probably the best coverage around. All right. Well, a little more confidence, a little more pep in the step on the sideline over here of the Navy Blue squad. E-Town Panthers are feeling a little better about themselves, and
Kentucky Blue squad set up for receiving right now.
Number 12, Tedrick Partinger back along with Trey Bass deep to receive the kick. Oh, that's a
squib kick. Picked up by number 8. Number 9.
It's Carlos McKinney with the ball, and that's why he's not going down.
He is
4 guys on his legs, and he's standing. They've blown the whistle.
He was stopped, but he was certainly not down.
Yikes.
He's a big guy.
3 guys holding on to one leg. All right. Excellent work.
You know, at this point, we've yet to see a lot of work from Javon Covington, their wide receiver, number 2.
We were excited to see Javon maybe get involved, and now that we've got a bit of a tighter ball game and we've seen a lot of hard work inside by Carlos McKinney, I wouldn't be surprised to see
This might be the time when he breaks out just a little bit.
A little play-action pass and going deep down the field.
They've got, I guess you just really kind of want to wait till that defense gets a little bit settled in what you've been going in and then just break out something big.
Right now, number 80, Jacob Clark at wideout, however, not Javon Covington. Trey Bass off left tackle makes a number 17 miss. Noah Peeler hanging on. Noah Peeler lost his helmet, but hanging on.
We do have a flag in the backfield. That may be coming back, sir.
Well, if it does, that's going to mean to me that Franklin Simpson is their own worst enemy. That's about their 4th flag. Noah Peeler has to come out of the game when you lose your helmet. Mandatory play off.
Noah Peeler's showing some heart tonight.
He is great catch and toe dance down here on the sideline. A good hustle there to run down that tackle and not let Trey Bass get loose for another touchdown. And it's a holding call.
It is a holding call coming back. It was in that vicinity. You know, love watching the heart in high school football where there's no stop. It's just, whistle to whistle. These boys are on it. They're going after it. And
they've grown up together. They love each other, and it's special.
Yeah.
It is. You're playing with your boys, with your guys. Not much like that.
No, it's not. And, that is so much of a reflection on the coach as well when you just see the kids playing to the end of the play.
All right, the Wildcats starting on about their own 30-yard line. 1st and 10, double wing. First back through, it's McKinney again. Heavy dose of McKinney, and he is dragging 4 or 5 guys. Great spin move.
Wow.
Pick up about 13 yards. There's going to have to be an adjustment because they have not stopped first back through yet. And then you bring Trey Bass on the belly play or on the counter play, and it's twice as deadly, but they've got to stop the first back. They've got to stop the fullback.
He is getting 0 resistance coming around on that. They do not have contain on that outside.
He's, it's 4 or 5 yards before he's touched, and then he's dragging guys another 5 or 6. So they're going to have to figure that out. E-Town still in their 4-man front look. Wing T to the right. Second back on the belly play to the right.
Nice tackle.
Ooh, Noah Peeler.
There we go.
Coming up and making the hit on Trey Bass.
Is bringing it tonight.
A good pickup.
It absolutely was. It looked like that could have been broken out for another 5-10 yards, but he put him down right there.
It's going to leave us with a big 3rd and 2 or 3 play, gain of 6, and from their own 48-yard line, the Wildcats here, if they can pick this up, it's going to get really difficult on the E-Town Panthers. They need a big stop right here to continue the momentum they had. All right, 4-man front. The linebackers are a little tighter. Playing, looks like a man-to-man look. First back.
He has a first down and quite a bit more.
McKinney again for another 17, 18-yard pickup down to about the 38-yard line of the E-Town Panthers. Yeah, they're not really they're not getting a hand on him. When they do, he's getting more yards beyond that.
He's money. Have we seen them punt yet tonight? I don't believe.
We have not.
We have not. We haven't seen their punting out.
Coach Brown is a stickler on detail. He's going to want the guys to play proper technique, play their reads. He's going to stick in this 4-4 defense, I believe. I don't think he's going to go to anything else. He wants his boys to learn how to play football the right way, and that's why in the long run they'll be a really good football team.
Absolutely.
Right now, however, they may have to adjust. Double wing, tight end right. First pass, and it's Javon Covington deep, badly.
And it is almost intercepted.
No, it is picked off.
It is picked
He's
up.
In bounds.
He stayed in bounds.
Number 5, Camden Williams with a big interception. The young freshman quarterback way underthrew that ball to Javon Covington.
By about 5 yards, easy.
Yeah, the 6'5" wideout had an opportunity. He was at least even with the corner deep down the field.
If that had been a jump ball, he probably would have taken it.
He probably would have had it. Two things happen when you see a ball flutter and come up short like that. Number one, usually it's timing. He's late.
Right.
He's late throwing the football. He knows what kind of arm he has. He knows where his receiver's going to be. And if you're late, the guy's going to outrun your arm.
He's outrunning his coverage, absolutely.
And so he's got to get rid of that on time. That's late on the throw. And then obviously not thrown well enough to get there. So big play for the Panthers.
That was
got to be really excited for Camden Williams. Big interception. 2 turnovers. So when you see an experienced team like the Franklin Simpson Wildcats, state champs last year, bringing back a lot of guys, how do you hang in there with them? Make some big plays.
And penalties. Franklin Simpson, as you said, has been tripping over themselves. A couple of really big holding calls there, offsides right after a holding call. You just can't. You can't maintain a lead or win when you're playing a good team, a good team that'll make you pay for it. And E-Town has the ability to make them pay for it. So we're at the end of the first quarter.
That's it.
Switching sides here.
Franklin Simpson 13, E-Town 7 to start the second quarter. E-Town Panthers at their own 10-yard line to take over 1st and 10. Coach Preston over there has got to be pulling his hair out. Penalties and turnovers, man. First quarter, about 5 penalties. I haven't kept track, but I think it's about 5 penalties and 2 turnovers.
That's a lot of yards.
That guy's going to get old in a hurry if that keeps happening.
Well, here we go.
Right,
about the 9-yard line. And
Trajan Bradley for about 2 yards up the middle. Again, they're running the fullback trap straight up the middle, faking to Noah Peeler on the sweep coming around. Again, it's part of the deception of the wing tee offense, and hoping to use that deception and misdirection to confuse the defense and get the linebackers out of their responsibilities.
I have not seen Joseph Becker back in since that late hit
out of bounds.
On the out-of-bounds hit. I don't think he's been.
Let's take a look.
I don't think
he's over at the left wing right now.
He is back on the left wing. All right.
Double wing formation for E-Town, 2nd and 9. Oh, there we go.
Rolling out to the right, and it's a completed pass. Right on about the 23-yard line.
Logan Savage, senior Logan Savage with a big catch for a first down.
Very nice.
Good throw.
He went down and got that.
Absolutely. After early jitters in the first quarter, Clay looks like he's really coming on. That was a tough throw over the outstretched arms of the outside linebacker, and tough throw to the short side of the field. They had the ball on the right hash, threw it into the boundary into the short side. Tough throw. Good throw and catch.
Clay's a tall kid. Definitely has some advantages with that. Here we go.
Little reverse. Oh, that fooled no one. Well, what happens is when you're pulling guards, those guards vacate a gap, and a linebacker's running through that gap.
And he's fast.
It's a big play in the backfield for the defense. So they headed backwards there. Anytime you run a play that's going side to side, you're running a risk of losing yards like that, and that one didn't go well. It's going to leave 2nd and 15 back to the 18-yard line.
If you've got some fast middle linebackers that can blow through those gaps, and if you've got a slow developing play to the outside, that's a nightmare.
Number 4, Connor Rogers was one of the backers getting through and making the big play there. All right, we've got 2 wide receivers to each side, 4 wide. Motion to trips. Quick screen.
Overthrow.
Looking for number 5, Camden Williams again on the quick screen, and that's a tough throw, Jeff. It really is. As a former quarterback, you know, the way that you get good at that is just reps. You do it a million times, and then it becomes easy.
Right.
But you're looking to hit them on the upfield shoulder so they're not having to reach back behind them. And, you know, he just didn't get his feet underneath him, get his shoulder pointed at the target, and just a little bit of an overthrow.
You're a little bit anxious on that because it's got to go quickly.
You're trying to get it out quick so he's got time to catch and run. So
didn't look like he had his feet set.
Didn't. All right, trips left on a 3rd and long. Sprint left.
Rolling left.
Got a flood pass. He's got Noah Peeler open over there on the sideline. Oh, about 2 yards short. Great pickup of about 12 to 13 yards. It's going to leave them with about a 4th and 2 in their own end from about the 30-yard line. I don't think there's any way you can go for this, but we'll see what Mark Brown wants to do here. It's going to be hard for us. Trajan Bradley is checking into the game. I don't know if that's an indication of anything.
I can't imagine. He's definitely been doing some good work, but you're looking at
Jeff, they're in the huddle.
They are in the huddle. Wow.
And Play Games is going to the line, not back into punt formation.
The sign says 4th and 1,
well,
but it looks like about
left.
3 yards to me.
He's trying to draw him. I'm seeing the hard count, and now we got a timeout. That's typical. You're going to go to your freeze play.
Going to the offsides.
When, trying to draw the other team off, that's good football, good coaching. Mark Brown doesn't pay off this time. A little more discipline there here early in the second quarter by the Wildcats. Well, we want to thank our sponsor again, E-Town Exterminating, 737-6900, online at mugabug.com. Thanks to E-Town Exterminating.
Another great local business.
That's right.
They do a good job.
Absolutely.
You know, as you see that oftentimes with a lot of pro teams that will try that 4th down, walk up to the line, hard count. And some of those quarterbacks just really have the ability to make that happen. And you don't see it work that often. But when it does work, it just makes you wonder, why did that work this time? What was it that made them think?
An anxious defensive player and an experienced quarterback. It actually takes some practice, and we've got a young quarterback out there. I could see him barking. I could see the head bobbing, trying to get a little movement, trying to get them to jump off sides. All right, back in punt formation. Deep is Trey Bass for the Wildcats. He's under it. He's got the ball, and he's got the left edge. Good tackle by 17, Love Grimes. He's made a lot of good special teams plays.
He certainly has.
That's the third one. He had a return as well as 2 tackles on special teams. Good start for Love Grimes on special teams.
Love Grimes and Peeler both tonight, just really bringing it, especially on that defensive end. If it hadn't been for those two, I think we could see a little bit different score up there tonight.
Yes. All right, 1st and 10 from their own 45. Franklin Simpson Wildcats coming to the line. As you look at Franklin Simpson, just to recognize the big guys up front. The Hogs, number 68, Sean Woods, 54, A.J. Burr, 55, Jack Randolph. These are some big, tough kids. We're in wing T left.
They are some big boys. Right up the middle.
Shockingly, Carlos McKinney.
Down to the 43. That was just straight up smash mouth football right there, sir.
A little fullback dive left. And 11-yard pickup. Carlos McKinney is racking up yards. We don't have an official stat count, but Carlos, other than the one fumble, has been an absolute force tonight.
It's almost one of those plays where you watch it and it just gives you that sense that they're saying, you know what, we're going to run this ball right here. And
I don't know if they're pointing it out, but they might be.
But they might be.
Those linemen may be talking and saying, hey, it's coming here. All right, wing T formation to the right, maybe a double wing. 5 on the cross trap.
Slipped.
And loses his,
lost his balance and went down.
That's number
5. That would be Chase Gooch.
Chase Gooch on the carry. I think that's his first carry of the evening.
I believe so.
And
boy, he tried to turn that up to the left and just had no footing at all.
That's a running back technique. You cut off your outside foot. He's trying to cut off the inside foot, and that is a recipe for going down. So had an opportunity and slipped in the hole. It's going to leave a 2nd and 11 from the E-Town Panther 45-yard line, wing T right.
Great time for a good stop.
Second man through, belly to Trey Bass, and he has broken contain. Yeah, there's a flag coming in.
I believe that's a face mask.
That's a face mask, Jeff. Yeah, in fact, Trey Bass lost his helmet because it was pulled off of him.
20-yard see a big guy like that dip his head that deep, you know something's not right.
Yeah, somebody had a hold of it there. One of the defensive backs on the tackle. I think it was 17, Love Grimes, actually coming over from his safety position.
You know, face masking has to be one of those things that oftentimes I'm sure there obviously, you know, there's times it's intentional, but when you're just playing aggressive ball, sometimes you're just going to grab it.
It's a little bit desperation, too.
Yeah, it is.
Getting a hold of whatever you can get a hold of. You're not in great position to make a tackle. And
correct.
We have a timeout on the field, and I'm going to Note West Point Bank has 5 offices located in Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Upton, Glendale, and West Point. Or find us online at westpointbank.com. Let us help make life simpler. West Point Bank, hometown banking made simple. Mark Brown has called a timeout, and they need to stop. And
they really do.
Franklin Simpson has the ball on the 21-yard line, 1st and 10 going in. And it's a good time for a timeout. The team may be a little tired. It's 8:40 left in the second quarter.
Yeah.
So we're getting a little deeper into the game. These guys, it's the first night out, and they may be wore down a little bit.
Worn down. This would be you're exactly right. I mean, what it does for you to get a stop at this depth in the field, I don't know if their kicker could put one through from this depth or not, but
Cole Hollingsworth has looked pretty good in his kicking duties, but yeah, I mean, you're trying to get any kind of stop you can get here, even if it's 3 points. So Luke Richardson under center.
They have not been without their failings in penalties and turnovers either.
Absolutely.
And he carries that right up and on all the way into the end zone.
Well, we're on TV here, so you guys just saw that. Carlos McKinney, not only incredibly strong and powerful, but a nice little spin move there to make one of the guys in the secondary miss when he gets to the safety.
Wow.
Safety puts his head down and spin off of it, and so he's powerful, agile, and boy, he's a tough task to get a hold of.
As a coach, you got a lot of confidence when you know your players can do things like that.
They're running fullback trap and fullback give, and it's that's about as simple as it gets, and very difficult for E-Town to handle the size up front. Cole Hollingsworth, it looks like he's knocked it through. That'll make it 20-7.
No, that was through, but once again, E-Town was really close on blocking that again.
Well, there's good effort. I mean, the Panthers are there's a lot of fight. This thing is still early, and we saw them come back from a 2-touchdown deficit just in the first quarter, and see what they can do on the offensive side here late in the first half here.
A lot of ball game left.
All right, again, this is an HCEC-TV student production. The Division of Hardin County Schools. Special thanks to our live sport coverage sponsors, Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, eTownApartments.com, Bluegrass Cellular, E-Town Exterminating, and West Point Bank. Tune in weekly for broadcasts of all local HCEC-TV programs on Brandenburg Telecom and Comcast Cable Channel 2 and Spectrum Communications on Channel 184. Hardin County Education Television.
It's really been cool to watch E-Town's football program really come together over the last few years. Mark Brown has done some great things here, and for those that maybe not super familiar with E-Town's history, it was known as a baseball school for so many years under the leadership of Ron Myers and others. It was just a tremendous baseball program, and the football program just kind of never seemed to have that kind of prominence. But boy, things have turned around. So what a great year last year. And these young guys, they may not be on top of things yet tonight, but they're showing some heart, and love to see the energy that they're bringing.
It looks like back deep for E-Town. Maybe, I'm trying to read, I think it's number 11. Is it Calden Griffin back deep?
I believe it is, and number 14.
TJ Allen.
Yeah.
Back deep to receive the whole Cole Hollingsworth kick.
And number 17.
And into the end zone. It was Love Grimes and 14. TJ Allen. But over their heads into the end zone.
Starting on the 20 with 8 minutes and 34 seconds left in the half.
So just taking a look around, Jeff. The clouds are gathering.
It is definitely
darker.
It is.
It's later in the evening, but also we've got a few dark clouds gathering, but so far so good.
But what you don't see is any movement on these flags to our right.
It's gotten warmer.
It definitely has gotten.
Wing T right, starting for their own 20. Inside handoff to Trajan Bradley. Nothing doing. Franklin Simpson Wildcats all over that one, led by number 8, Colin Preston that time. Number 18, Michael.
That would be Michael Punzelon.
Punzelon. We're going to have a hard time with that one.
We're going to work on that one.
That's an impressive looking kid, number 18 in the middle linebacker there, making a good play along with his buddy Colin Preston playing defensive end. Quick screen again. Ooh, the outside linebacker sniffed. Actually, that's Colin Preston, the defensive end. He saw that screen coming and hit it in the mouth. That was a fantastic play.
Their defense is really beginning to learn how to read E-Town's offense here.
Yeah, loss of about 1.5 yards. That's going to leave third and maybe 12, 11.5 from about the 18 or 19-yard line. They need the 30-yard line for a first down. Third and long, not the kind of situations you want to put your sophomore quarterback in, backed up in your own end, down 2 touchdowns.
You know, that is always one of those issues where you have similar offenses.
A little out and up wheel pass.
He is free.
Noah Peeler open and the catch made.
Beautiful
Great throw and catch down the right sideline. They ran the outside receiver ran a post route. Peeler runs a little quick out route and then turns it up for what's called a wheel route on the out and up and wide open down the sideline. Clay Games right on the money. Big pickup of about 30 yards and first and 10 for the Panthers on their own 48-yard line.
Clay Games passing has not been anything that's kept us from being ahead today. He is really on it. Beautiful pass.
Shows an awful lot of potential, and
he really does.
Finding Noah Peeler and Camden quite often. Well, Trajan Bradley was having a lot of success in the first quarter, and they're really shutting down that first back through, and Trajan Bradley is stopped for maybe a gain of 1 yard or a half a yard, but he's basically on the 49-yard line where it'll be 2nd and 9. Yeah, number 5, Camden Williams.
When you have two teams that have similar, they run out of the same type of set, I suppose it makes it a little bit easier for the defenses because they're used to seeing it all the time. Yeah. So you don't have to create a mimic.
Tight end right.
Trajan is out around the end. He is definitely for a first down and a few more. Very nice.
They broke contain that time. Good blocking on the edge by the wing back on the left side and the tackle on the left side to get the edge on the jet sweep. Big pickup for Trajan Bradley. We've seen him lined up at fullback.
Right.
That time they had him lined up at wing, and they were ready to feature him going on the jet sweep.
Great job on the blocking crew going out around and containing that end in there. It was excellent.
Well, 2nd and long they just picked up. They picked up a 3rd and long, so trips right from the left hash. Sprint out to the right.
He's got a man. Oh, wonderful defense.
Tedrick Partinger making a great play, playing corner. Love Grimes on the post route down the middle of the field.
He's wanting some interference there, but I don't think he's going to get it.
Looked like a pretty good play to me. Tedrick Partinger was there from his corner spot playing a deep zone coverage, and it looked like to me the contact and the ball were about simultaneous. He was right there. He had his left arm, his upfield arm around the receiver and batting it down with his right arm. That's perfect technique. That DB coach is going to be pretty proud of him.
Absolutely. Definitely one of those times you wish you could watch some instant replay on that, but that particular one, he just happened to look in that direction, and he definitely had it. Timeout for E-Town. Yeah, that is true. When you're playing a team that's got the same offense you do, it makes an easier practice week for your defense. You don't have to put together what when I played, we used to call it the Nutso squad. It would always mimic the other team, and so it does make it a little bit different. But as you said, each coach runs their own version of it. They've all got their own flavors, and depending on who your personnel is, you're going to feature different aspects of it.
Absolutely. Well, before they get back to the line of scrimmage, we'll note Bluegrass Cellular again, offering the most affordable unlimited plan anywhere where wireless works. Visit us at bluegrasscellular.com. E-Town Panthers coming to the line again, 2nd and 10 on the Franklin Simpson 40-yard line. They're trying to answer back as Franklin Simpson has taken a 2-score lead again, trying to answer back just like they did last time. Franklin Simpson took a 2-score lead and putting together a nice drive. Started at their own 20-yard line.
2nd and 10. Almost a high snap, but he brought it down, and Clay flips it out there, and it is not intercepted, but close, almost. Number 10, Trey Bass, almost came up with that.
Little play action look there with 21 up the sideline there, and just slightly overthrown. Tough throw. It was a really tight window.
Yeah, he had a lot of coverage around him. That would have had to have been a perfect
outside
pass.
Linebacker underneath him, corner over the top of him, and I wouldn't call it double coverage, but it was a really tight window in the zone there. He was trying to fit that in, and just a little overthrown.
An incomplete passes.
Yeah, that was to Cameron McNeil. He was trying to hit him up the sideline. Number 21, Cameron McNeil is bringing the play in, it looks like. Back into the huddle. They'll hustle to the line. 6 minutes to go here in the half. Back to pass.
Threw it out, and no one in the area.
I'm a little confused, Jeff.
Yeah,
I saw about 5 offensive linemen about 8 or 9 yards downfield, like there was some sort of a screen being set up, and he took the option of trying to throw a deep ball there. They easily could have thrown a flag.
They really did. I believe that was
scanning the field for that. I don't know if anybody else saw that, but
Cameron McNeil was the only one that was close to it, and he was still a good 15 yards to the right of that. So I'm not sure what Clay was seeing on that one.
And the fact that all the offensive linemen were downfield about 7 or 8 yards makes me wonder.
You're exactly right.
Tripp's right. 4th and 10. They're going for it, guys. They're in the other team's territory.
Oh,
my goodness.
Very close, very close. Some good D. He got up and got his hands up in front of his face.
Number 21, Cameron McNeil on the sideline, just trying to get to the sticks, trying to get to the first down markers. Good throw, Clay Gaines.
It was a beautiful throw.
Where only Cameron can get it. It's right on the sideline.
It was definitely catchable. It would have been a great catch.
Hit him in the hands, but he had to climb the ladder to try to go get that one. Tough catch. Bad break for the Panthers not being able to pick that up. They had a shot and just weren't able to get it. All right, 1st and 10 for the Franklin Simpson Wildcats on their own 40-yard line. Let's see if E-Town can figure something out here. They need a stop late in the half.
Almost 6 minutes left.
Need a stop late in the half.
Big time stop needed right now.
They're still in their 4-4 front. Looks like a zone look. This is a really good sign for the E-Town Panthers.
They
first
stopped
time
him right
Carlos
in the middle.
McKinney on the fullback trap play up the middle.
It's a rare sighting tonight.
They're going to give him about a 2-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 8, but he got an initial surge, but they were there to stop him pretty quickly.
I am shocked that he got at least 2 yards on that.
That was much better.
Coach told us at the beginning of the game he figured they were going to try and just run it, wear him down. That was so he's getting exactly what he expected. From that perspective.
Absolutely, yeah. We've got a team here in Franklin Simpson that had over 5,000 yards rushing last year and about 800 yards passing. Coach knew what to expect. They're prepared for it. They're just meeting a pretty impressive force. Like I was talking about some of those offensive linemen. All right, 2nd and 8 from their 42-yard line. Double wing. Luke Richardson under center. Bass on the crisscross trap. Back up inside. Good play by number 80.
Picked up about another 6 yards on that.
Making the tackle.
Looks like we're about 3rd and 2.
Bass had a hole, and Logan Savage was able to recover from the misdirection and make a nice play.
It's hard to imagine that they would ever pass when they're looking at 3rd and 3 with the running backs they have.
Oh, this ball's on the ground, probably for 2 runs if they need him.
And he carries it all the way down to the 35.
Yeah, that's the fullback X-Buck play that a lot of wing T teams will use. They've run that several times. They've mixed that with a straight dive play and a fullback trap. And a heavy dose of Carlos McKinney and another 15-yard gain on a 3rd and 3 play.
He may be 6'1", 238, but he runs like a much smaller man. He's got
quick
some
and nimble.
Speed.
I bet he doesn't feel smaller when they're running into him out there. Man, he's an impressive-looking kid.
From
the 35-yard line of the E-Town Panthers, 1st and 10, Luke Richardson under center, double wing.
And Carlos McKinney right up the middle again. It's a shocker.
Some chippiness there, a little shoving and pushing. We've got 2 flags
coming out. Oh, we got some flags.
I saw Joseph Becker in there with number 9, Carlos McKinney. We've got another flag coming.
It's like popcorn out there.
Yeah, they're dragging McKinney back. I think he had something else to say after the initial pushing and shoving after the play. And I have a feeling that penalty, one of those, is going to be on McKinney because he's now over to talk to Coach Preston. I'm sure Coach Preston's not real thrilled with that.
I'm not sure what he has to be upset about.
Well, Jeff, you never know what kind of roughing up's happening down there once you get tackles.
We all know there's little extracurricular stuff that takes place.
You can get a little nasty under there, and I'm sure there's enough blame to go around.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Paul. we never did anything.
Oh, goodness gracious.
There was a lot of yellow popcorn out there, though.
I hope they don't forget some of it. It's laying around
still
everywhere.
It is.
Pick up your laundry, zebras. Oh, goodness. It's been a pretty well officiated game. I haven't seen anything, and the only thing we saw was the one maybe possible late hit on Joseph Becker over on the far sideline. Right. But other than that, it seems like it's been a pretty
it's always
called game.
It's all that they're doing a great job when you get all the way to the half and you haven't really noticed the refs that much.
That's right.
So we got some offsetting ones, but they had one more, so they got the 15 yards.
Again, Coach Preston has got to be just livid with the turnovers and the penalties here. That is just silliness.
I could pretty much guess what that halftime talk's going to be about.
Yeah, that's when you've got an experienced team like this and you're making all these mistakes, they're going to get a bit of an earful. They're going to be ahead probably going into the half here by a couple touchdowns. But
no coach cares how many touchdowns you're ahead if you're doing that, right?
I don't know if Coach Preston is a fiery fellow or not, but hope there's no tables that are loose in that locker room or anything else like that he might get a hold of and flip or something because he won't be happy.
On the other side, I have to say, very impressed with the discipline that we've seen on this young E-Town team.
That offsetting penalty may be their first penalty,
I think it is. And, again, you don't know what all went on down there, so he may have been the second man out.
Yeah, 2nd and 22 now for Franklin Simpson Wildcats. They are in a tight trips formation to the right with a wing to the left. Belly, oh, my
Had him in the backfield and let him go.
Spin move, double move.
Another spin move. That was like
Camden Williams at the end of that was just hanging on for dear life to try to stop the touchdown. He was able to get him on the ground.
He was spinning like a top both directions all the way down to the 13-yard line, 15-yard line.
Trey Bass is a strong runner. Boy, is he elusive. That was tough. They had a shot at him in the backfield.
Wow. He was
I believe that was number 3, Jamon Bristol, but he was not able to get him on the ground.
And when you have that time when, he's in open area. Well, that was a nice tackle. Standing him up at about the 12-yard line.
24, Mark Carter on the carry. He's obviously come in for Carlos McKinney after Carlos McKinney's infraction. I see that changing now as McKinney checks back into the lineup, and Carter will leave the lineup.
Didn't see who that was on the tackle, but it was just stood him right up.
There was a group of them, but somebody back there in the secondary made a really good form tackle on a big kid. That's a really nice play. 2nd down and 3 from about the 12-yard line. Wing T formation to the right. Second back again on the buck sweep with a leading guard. First down. Down to the 5-yard line. That's right, a big pickup of about 7 yards, and it'll be first and goal, Wildcats from the 5-yard line. There's 2.5 minutes to go in the half. And, wow, this would be a big score for them or a big stop for the Panthers. This is a big sequence. Luke Richardson coming back from the sideline. Coach Preston had a few words for him to get him set up for this first and goal play here. We've got a double wing formation, tight end right. Fullback trap to the right side.
And he is in for the touchdown.
Carlos McKinney has been a dominant force in this game, and that'll
certainly
be 26-7. Franklin Simpson Wildcats. State champs are really asserting themselves, and
they're demonstrating why they turned that on in the second half of the season last year and basically went undefeated after I think they had 2 or 3 losses in the first 6 games. From that point on, it was money. It was just nothing but W's.
Cole Hollingsworth in for the kick for the point after try.
You know, Joseph Becker is just coming in off of that right side untouched and just missing it every time. But he's definitely coming in around the end there.
Well, it's important. You kind of, you know, if you're coaching your special teams correctly, and I would certainly expect Mark Brown to have his all of his T's crossed and I's dotted. You'll notice Joseph coming off that one edge. One thing you can't do is having guys come off of both edges.
Yeah, that's a problem.
I've had that happen before, even on teams that I've coached, and then you get them on the sideline if they both don't have their bell rung from running headlong into each other, and you yell at them and tell them, hey, if we're going to come off one side,
and one of them,
not both.
One of them will end up going into the kicker 9 times out of 10 and trying to avoid each other. So absolutely right. And Beck, each time he has great form on that. He's diving right in front of it, but just barely missing it. Well, here we are, 27-7. At this point, that missed extra point doesn't seem to matter right now. But we've got a second half coming.
Well, I'm sure Mark Brown will have a few adjustments, and we'll see what they can bring to the table in the second half here. Again, we're as we've noted from the pregame, we've got an incredibly experienced team against a very young team, kind of in their first outing here.
Right.
Maybe, showing a little bit of that youth.
Right.
A little outmatched. One of the things I've found in coaching is there's a big difference between an 18-year-old and a 15-year-old. And if you're playing sophomores and juniors, they're 15, 16, and the other team's playing seniors, they're 18.
Huge difference.
You get pushed around a little bit, and right now that's the
Well, yeah, you and I both know that at every level of the game, speed changes. And, for some of these guys that are just coming up from junior high, middle school, coming on to play at this level, it's a different speed. And these are big boys. The maturing of a guy from eighth grade to junior or senior, that size difference. And I don't know how much it's translating on the television, but these are some big boys on Franklin Simpson.
270, 280 across the front on that line. TJ Allen was back deep and wasn't able to handle the kick, so E-Town will start at the 20-yard line. 1st and 10. Spread, trips right. They're throwing the quick out to the, trips left. Quick out to the right.
Threw it behind him a little bit.
Number 3, Jamon
Bristol,
and he was unable to handle it. Hit him in the hands. It was a little behind. Just kind of a
definitely could have had that ball.
Yeah, didn't hook up quarterback to receiver. It's right now it's about execution. When E-Town has executed their offense, they've looked pretty good. And
right now I see a team that's just a little bit down, a little bit tired. They're ready for a break. They need to get in that locker room. And
incomplete passes like that aren't going to help that because the clock is stopped. Of course, Coach wants to score before half. They're in a spread formation. 4 wide receivers looking down the middle.
He's got him deep, but overthrow him by about 2 yards.
He had Camden Williams down the middle. Trey Bass in coverage just about a step behind. Ball about 2 or 3 yards overthrown.
The last thing you want to do is turn it back over to them, and now we've got 2 incomplete passes stopping the clock. 2 minutes, 4 seconds left. We certainly don't want to give the ball back to them with 2 minutes left. here we go.
All right, 3rd and 10. The Panthers approach the line again. 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. Joseph Becker pretty wide in his running back set there. They're probably going to sprint right. Oh, a little draw play back to the left of Joseph Becker. He's got a lot of room.
He is.
Big carry for about 20-yard pickup.
First down out to around about the 39-yard line.
You know, they really gave a nice, what I would call a false key.
Absolutely.
When you have your running back set really wide like that, it looks like he's setting up to either run a quick out route or seal the edge so the quarterback can sprint out. Well, he sat there for just a moment to delay on the draw play, and away he went. Beautifully set up.
Absolutely. That defense, Franklin Simpson's defense, that's one of the few times we've seen him completely buy in.
A little bit out of position.
Yeah.
They're sitting back a little deeper and a little bit of a prevent look here, a little deeper than they've been sitting. They're in a 3-man front, actually. We're trying to set up a screen here to Trajan Bradley. He's got the ball. We've got one blocker out in front.
Beautiful
Great
block
move by Trajan Bradley. Big play, breaking tackles for an 18-yard pickup. E-Town first down.
Want to give some props there to Joel Apresto, who absolutely threw the block that opened that up.
Beautiful.
Nice block, Joel.
Boy, that screen pass took a long time to set up.
It sure did.
And Clay showed a lot of good poise because he
did.
retreated about 15 yards before he delivered that screen pass. And that's a pretty good clue that it's a screen when you keep giving ground.
Absolutely.
And beautifully done. Great run by Trajan Bradley.
2 beautiful plays back-to-back.
1st and 10 from the 42 on the Wildcat side. Play action pass look.
Number 15. That would be Dre Atkins. Beautiful defense there, just knocking it down.
Dre Atkins coming from his linebacker position had that one sniffed out and
didn't really have an opportunity to intercept it. He was in the air going out of bounds as he knocked it down. So
absolutely. The sideline throw. They're trying to save the clock. E-Town Panthers trying to hit a quick pass and get it out of bounds. 4 wide receivers from the 43, 2nd and 10, 1:21 on the clock, saving time. Deep ball down the left sideline to number 5.
Caught!
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness.
Noah Peeler was the second man.
So close.
The throw was to Camden Williams up the sideline.
But
Camden
on that
made a
second
great
chance.
effort to go up and catch the football.
Beautiful.
It tipped up in the air. Noah Peeler hustling down the field, dives and just barely misses the ball. Fantastic effort play. Not a bad throw, slightly underthrown. But as long as you throw that to the outside and on the back shoulder, it gives your receiver a good chance to make a play on the ball.
Great effort by Noah Peeler. Almost the tip drill. Beautiful.
All right, 4 wide, 3rd and 10. We've had a couple big conversions by the Panthers. Let's see if they get another big conversion here.
A lot of time. He did not hang on. That was a perfectly timed hit by number
2, Javon Covington, making his presence felt on defense. We haven't seen him catch any balls on offense yet, but coming from his free safety position, he made a big hit on that crossing route.
6'5", 211 pounds. No wonder he didn't hold on to that ball.
Yeah, that's tough.
I mean, he literally hit him just at the moment, perfectly timed.
Was that 21 Cameron McNeil on the
I believe it was.
Reception attempt. He's coming out of the game. He took a big shot.
Yeah,
anytime you're coming over the middle like that, you're putting yourself out there. We got a 2 deep secondary right now. Actually, 4 deep secondary. They're really in a prevent look. Trips left.
4th and 10.
Quick throw to Noah Peeler.
He has the first down.
He's got the first down
Absolutely.
And more. Wow.
Beautiful play.
Well, now the E-Town Panthers have converted several times on long 3rd downs,
really
long
have.
4th downs. And here we are, 1:01 to go in the half, and they're on the 29-yard line of the Wildcats going in. And, he wants to score. Mark Brown wants to score before halftime. And
no question.
They've engineered a pretty good drive here. Clay Game's really looking good.
Franklin Simpson D on their heels right now.
Yeah, they got into this prevent look, and it's been tough. Trips right. Motion from Cameron McNeil. Throw down the middle to Camden Williams, and he was covered, and the ball was thrown, thankfully, harmlessly fell to the ground, because anytime you're throwing deep down the middle and don't really have anywhere to go, that's danger zone.
My philosophy on the prevent defense is that it only prevents you from doing one thing, and that's winning.
Yeah, come on, Coach Preston over there on the other side. What are you doing there? You need to tighten this thing back up a little bit here. You're letting guys run loose everywhere.
Those linebackers dropped back a good 3 yards from where they were, and definitely loosened that up.
Linebacker depth. They're in a four deep look, 4-deep zone look. Noah Peeler open on the sideline. Oh, great recovery by Javon Covington to knock it away.
And we haven't mentioned much about this either, but there hasn't been a whole lot of pressure on Clay either. He's had good time to throw tonight.
The line's doing a good job, and he's getting it out of his hands when he's supposed to.
He is.
That one there was a hair late, gave the safety on that side, Javon Covington, a chance to get over and recover. I'm seeing Covington kind of take some deep breaths. I think they've got these. He's bent over, in fact.
He is.
They've got this team on their heels right now.
They really do.
3rd and 10.
Well, this is the longest they've been out on the field.
Absolutely. 39 seconds to go in the half. 3rd and 10. 4 wide, quick throw. On the
Joseph.
Swing route to Becker and just couldn't hang on.
Becker dropped it.
Well, we're 4th and 10 again.
Here we go.
And so far, it's been a pretty good down for the Panthers. You wouldn't think that's high percentage time.
No, that's absolutely. When you look at that on your stat sheet and find that as one of your highest percentage plays, that's a surprise for any coach.
All right, so plays coming in. We got Noah Peeler and Camden Williams coming in with the play. And again, you've got a kind of a prevent look, what's called quarters coverage, 4 deep. Everybody taking a quarter of the field down the field, 3-man rush. 4 wide receivers. 4th and 10, a little sprint right, a little half roll. Got a little pressure on him that time. Noah Peeler down the field.
Overthrown.
Slightly overthrown. I think he thought Noah was going to be on a little bit of a deeper angle. Noah's cutting a little more across the field. A little miscommunication on that throw as much as being inaccurate. But
well, if Coach Preston's goal was to bend and not break, he accomplished his goal.
He did. Good work by the defense to get him off the field, and they've held. And it's 27-7 with 30 seconds to go in the half. And
interesting.
Turnover on downs.
Freshman Luke Richardson tries to do anything with 30 seconds left.
Well, we've only seen him throw 1 pass, and it was not a success. It was an interception. Coach Preston was high on him pregame, but
he was.
And they're in a kneel down victory formation here at the half to run the clock out.
There we go.
And Luke Richardson will just take a knee.
Well, I think we need to take some time at the end of this to also once again reminder of our amazing sponsors: Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, E-Town Apartments, Bluegrass Cellular, E-Town Exterminating, West Point Bank. Sure to appreciate those people. Got some great local businesses here in E-Town and surrounding area.
Well, we'll remind you one more time also to tune in weekly for the rebroadcasts of all the local HCEC-TV programs on Brandenburg Telecom and Comcast Cable's Channel 2 and Spectrum Communication on Channel 184. This is Paul Gray and Jeff Knoll here at Panther Field, and we'll see you for the second half here in just a little bit.
to HCEC-TV's live sports broadcast. Of course, we are sponsored in part by many local businesses, and we're really thrilled to bring you an upcoming season that is packed with some great competition. Joining me today is one of Brandenburg Telecom's sponsors, along with HCEC-TV, is Karen Collard, who is the property manager at etownapartments.com. Now, in addition to being the property manager, Karen, you also have a familiar tie to etownapartments.com. Talk about that.
Yes, I do. My brother, Mark Harris, and I do this together. He's with the construction. He does the construction and builds everything that we rent. We have, that gives us the ability to build what we see the community has a need for. We've got everything from single level 1-bedrooms, we've got 2, 3, and 4 bedrooms, duplexes, townhomes, apartments, single family homes, brand new construction family homes. It gives me some diverse stuff to offer the community as well.
That's great. Now, since our last taping, you've got some new properties that you want to share with us.
Yes, we do. We're very excited to be expanding. We have already expanded to Bardstown, Hodgenville, and that has gone over great. We stay full in those communities. We've got new property out on Ring Road, right in the center of Elizabethtown, Tunnel Hill Park Apartments. They are our 2-bedroom, 2-bath location. Those are managed by Amy Smogert, and it just has gone over super great. We're so grateful to the community.
Now, why have you feel that it's important to branch out?
Well, we just keep seeing the need. More and more people are going toward renting now. That a lot of folks are wanting to get away from the home maintenance and things of that nature. So more and more people, and as our factories are growing, we have more and more need. People coming new to the area, they want to get settled in, find out where they want to be to call their permanent home. And we've branched out to Bardstown and Hodgenville because we've seen the need there. That both great communities. Bardstown's voted one of the great small communities in the nation. So we are very proud to be part of that.
Now, I'm assuming in addition to a variety of properties, you have a variety of pricing.
We do, and we've got a lot of great specials going on right now. With any of the rates you see on our website, you get a $100 discount per month on rent if you do a 12-month lease and auto pay from a checking, which that has gone over great. The prices range anywhere starting at $549 a month, and it goes on up depending on what your needs are. And then we have a deposit special. Only a $299 deposit special with approved credit, and if you're looking to move right away, we can take care of that as well.
Now, are any of your available leasings are any of them furnished?
We can do that. Usually, those are just something that corporate level people are doing when they're coming to town for a short amount of time. And just with some advance notice, we can do that as well.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, people that want to contact you, you have a few ways that they can get in touch. So share that information.
We have several avenues. They can call, of course. Our number's easy to remember, 270-268-RENT, which is 7368. They can text. They can email us at etownapartments.com, etownapartments@AOL. But the best way to stay in touch with us, when you can also see what we have to offer, is through our Facebook, E-Town Apartments on Facebook. That has just been a great resource for us.
Well, you've been a long-time sponsor for our high school sports. We could not do what we do without that sponsorship, so we really appreciate that. Why do you feel it's important to stay connected with the high school community?
Well, that's the next generation, and that's our opportunity to thank the community as well for giving us such an opportunity to grow as a family business. But then that next generation, they're coming up, and we have those first-time renters coming up, going to ECTC. We have 1-bedrooms right across the street from there, and we just, of course, we are sports enthusiasts as a family, so we love being part of it.
Well, it definitely supports what we do, and also our students that work those special events. Again, for individuals that are interested in etownapartments.com, again, just
back here at Panther Field, Paul Gray with Jeff Knoll to call the second half of the E-Town Franklin Simpson opener. We're here on a warm Friday night. It's a little cooler than I've felt some Friday night openers. There have been some really warm ones, but I think the kids are doing well. We haven't seen anybody laying around in the field with cramps.
That's true.
We're doing pretty well in that regard. And Jeff, we're seeing kind of the result we might have expected. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think in our hearts we had hoped that maybe E-Town might have been a little bit more ready to go in terms of keeping up. But when you really look at them, apples to apples here, you're definitely looking at a team that brought back so many more players than E-Town did. Comparison-wise, coming off they're a 4A state champ, and E-Town's a 3A team. And granted, yeah, they beat them last year. But it's a different season, a whole season ago, a lot of experience after that entire year. So, yeah, I think in the end you're exactly right. But, you also have to look at the entire first half from E-Town. And, yeah, we're down 27-7, but there were some really bright spots in there. Very few penalties, which you and I both know. Young team. That's the strange thing. You've got the experienced state champ team over there, and they're the ones who had far more penalties than this young team. And you saw some great discipline in the throwing arm of Clay Games there. Really, just was impressed with how he handled that. So there were definitely some bright spots. That drive at the end of the half, even though it came up short, conversions on 4th and 10. You gotta be happy about that.
A lot of positives to take away, and if you want to make any comparisons, you look at E-Town's team absolutely wearing out the Franklin Simpson Wildcats last year, and the Wildcats go on to win the 4A state championship. I'm not saying E-Town's going to end up playing on the first weekend in December, but
be nice.
You've got a young team here,
right?
That's having a rough start, and it's a long season, and these young kids are going to come a long way, especially when you've got the experience of Mark Brown working with them to improve. They'll make those improvements. They'll make those adjustments. We'll see some really good things out of the E-Town Panthers down the road here. Again, you got to know they're not the same team they were last year. They've lost a lot of the experience, a lot of the producers.
Right.
Their top 4 rushers, their top 2 receivers, their quarterback. I mean, they've lost an awful lot of players, but they've got a lot of talent. They've got a lot of kids who are working really hard, and you never know what'll happen with good coaching and a lot of good effort. And I expect to see some really good things down the road here. And you never know what's going to happen in the second half here. They've already caused 2 turnovers. Again, we talked about the mistakes Franklin Simpson has made. They are the ones that have made the mistakes, even though they're 27-7 ahead. Right. A couple more turnovers and you never know what's going to happen on a hot August night, and Franklin Simpson could, run out of gas a little bit. But we'll see who gasses. I think Doug Preston, coach of Franklin Simpson, his game plan is to wear down E-Town with their big backs and a big line, and so we might see that, or we could see.
They were definitely doing that in the first half. There was no question. You could see that. It's those tough games that you learn a lot more from. Obviously, than you do even the games where you play really, really well, and that's the thing. E-Town's playing well. They're just playing a team up to this point, at least through that first half. They just are being outmatched by Franklin Simpson. But a whole nother half left. And here
Cole
we go.
Hollingsworth to send it into the night. Back to receive. T.J. Allen receives it at the 10-yard line and up the middle. He'll be brought down at about the 18, 19-yard line. Gang tackled there by 3 of the Franklin Simpson Wildcats, and they'll start 1st and 10 on their own 19-yard line.
I think that was number 80, Jacob Clark, for Franklin Simpson, that got down around and got the first hit and managed to hang on.
E-Town will start from the right hash.
Panthers take over 1st and 10.
Clay Games will lead his troops to the line of scrimmage. And we'll see what kind of heart and what kind of toughness they can show in the face of a lot of adversity right here. Under center, double wing formation back in their base wing tee sets. Quick throw, wow. Tough. Good throw to Cedric Williams on the quick screen. He just took the snap, 1-step throw. A little high, but it hit him right in the hands. That should have been fielded, and Cedric would have had a one-on-one situation out there with Camden Williams. That would have been Camden would have had a one-on-one situation with the corner out there.
Thankfully, that tip went the direction it did, because there was number
tip
5
to the empty sideline. Right.
Chase Gooch was right there with nothing but green pasture between him and the end zone.
2nd and 10. Deep motion in the backfield. Sweep, buck sweep to the left.
21, Cameron McNeil.
Number 21, Cameron McNeil with the ball, and looks like it's about a loss of 2. It'll be 3rd and 12. Again, you hate to see Town in long yardage all the time. We're starting to see that develop.
Becoming more and more prominent.
It is becoming more prominent, and Cameron McNeil coming off.
Not a good sign.
We're in the spread again. Tight end wing left, too wide to the right. Motion and jet sweep. Trajan Bradley makes a good
got
cut.
Some room. He's continuing to run, and a first down.
3rd and 12, jet sweep.
Absolutely.
Speed sweep, whatever you call that, but great run by Trajan
That was
Bradley
gorgeous.
again. Good work on the outside to seal the edge. And great run by Trajan Bradley.
First down.
Good work on the right side of that line there that time by.
That would be Joel LaPresto. A couple of times we've called his name tonight, or Henry Waters. Is that Henry Waters, number 60?
Joel.
Joel LaPresto, number 60. Yeah, Joel was the one who sprung that block earlier on that last screen pass.
Joel Becker on a short carry up the middle there for about 4 yards. Yeah, they're not behind the sticks this time. That'll leave them with 2nd and 6. That's a good first down pickup. So they're not in such long yardage
2nd
here.
and 6, Panthers.
Go ahead.
Joel LaPresto is actually an offensive tackle.
Yeah.
Sweeping out there to the side to make those blocks. Quick pass to the left. And he has got some room.
Camden Williams makes the catch that time.
Beautiful, absolutely. Same play. Exact same play. Ball was a little lower this time. Definitely in a little bit easier for him to pull it in.
Quick screen, and again, it left him one-on-one on the corner, and he makes a great run once he catches the ball. If you can get your athletes like Camden there out in one-on-one situations, you're likely to gain yards. And so good play. 1st and 10, Panthers from their own 45-yard line.
Play right there with the potential to break out around the side.
Jamon Bristol wide to the right, trips to the left. They're looking for Jamon Bristol. Yeah.
Not there.
Swing pass to Joseph Becker out on the right side. Fortunate that it was incomplete. That was going to be about a 4 or 5 yard loss if he caught the ball. They were right there on him. I think he wanted Jamon Bristol on a slant route, and that was covered, and he went to his check down, and it wasn't there either.
The way Joseph went after that, it almost made you think he realized he was probably better off to just bring it down.
Trips right. And Jamon left now by himself. We're sprinting right.
He's got that ball, number 17. That would be Love Grimes once again. Beautiful play.
Love Grimes making his presence felt. About a 12-yard pickup on 2nd and 10. So 1st down. Panthers. Love Grimes making another good play. He's been an all-around good player for him tonight.
12-yard gain.
Showing some
Clay Gaines is down on the turf. It's a cramp. We were just talking about that coming back from half. The heat, the cramping issues you can get.
Right.
And man, that's about as bad a spot as it can happen to your young quarterback who's starting to have some success. That may.
Quad Skillman is our backup quarterback.
May come to Quad, number 24.
Quad is a freshman. Quad is a freshman, and he's 5'8", 143. So he's quite a bit smaller than Clay is. But Clay's coming off, so it looks like Quad will at least be in there for one play.
Quad's coming off the field. They may go to some kind of wildcat look with one of their other backs taking the snap, maybe in the shotgun.
Absolutely are.
They're not going to go to the freshman right now. It looks like Clay's over here on the sideline trying to get that stretched out. I'm sure they'll try to get him back in. Cramp not being a serious situation, but it can be nagging and it can be a problem.
Absolutely.
This early in the half. So 1st and 10 from the Franklin Simpson 43-yard line. Trips to the right. Shotgun. Becker.
Beautiful play.
Gives to 21 McNeil. McNeil for a good pickup around the left side.
Becker took the snap.
He did.
It was not a wildcat or anything. He just took the snap. And
well, we got 67 Zion G down right now. One of the offensive linemen for E-Town. Not sure what we've got going on. They're stretching the calf out as well. They're stretching him out. Here we go.
It's time for some water. As you can see, just as this is happening, the trainer's assistants are out there with water bottles, and everybody is instructed to hydrate.
Jeff, I've seen this so many times. That's why I commented on the heat. It's not as warm as I've seen it on some really hot August nights.
Days, right.
But it's taken its toll. When it's the first game, these guys aren't used to the 4 quarters. When you play a scrimmage, you usually play about a half of football. Some guys may not be getting hydrated
during the half, which you'd expect.
Well, during the half, but the night before and
right.
all throughout the day, you've got to be taking care of your body for about 24 to 48 hours prior to the game to make sure you're not going to have these kinds of issues. Now we got 2 guys down. Looks like Games is going to be back on the field. He's stretching right now on the field.
Because they're trying to do that.
But we've got Zion down on the field, and they're stretching him out. He's going to be fine. But
you see these things on the field, and you wonder yourself if you've never really had a calf cramp up or a hamstring cramp up. You can't even imagine how painful that is, and it's just
tough to run.
It's just excruciating. Yeah, you just can't. And we're looking right now at Zion G, and he's a big fella. And,
While he's coming off the field, just quickly here, eTownApartments.com by Mark Harris Construction. Take a virtual tour today at eTownApartments.com. Thanks to Mark Harris Construction and eTown Apartments and their sponsorship. Looks like he's still over on the sideline and cramping again, and they'll continue to work on Zion down here. Obviously, they want to get him back on the field. Especially with the offensive success they're starting to have.
Absolutely. Well, they are moving the ball, so let's see if Clay can keep it going. And
a little speed option. Looking for a pitch, but number 14 for Franklin Simpson, outside linebacker.
Sniffed that out.
He had the pitch man covered, and Clay had to turn it up. He may have picked up a yard. We've got a 3rd and 5 from the 43-yard line.
Clay is not 100%. He's still stretching that out with every second he gets.
It's tough when you call a running play for him too, right there on that first play back into the lineup.
I'm sure Coach was hoping he'd get the pitch off before it was read, but they sniffed that out.
Cameron McNeil on the toss sweep.
He is out on the side. Broke that contain. Definitely got a first down.
Another 3rd down conversion, Jeff. They've been really good on 3rd and 4th down.
And he is still on the ground. Actually, that's number 5 on the ground. No, number 5, that would be, Camden Williams.
Camden Williams is over there on the sideline. I think he was the wide receiver to that side.
He's getting stretched out as well.
He was the wide receiver to that side, and he's over there stalk blocking on the defensive back out there, trying to spring his teammate for a big play. They pick up a big 3rd and 5. They pick up about 8 yards on 3rd and 5, and so that's a big play, but.
You just absolutely called this one, sir, right from the very beginning. But don't be talking about anything else in the regard to
I'm either a prophet or a jinx. I'm not sure which one that is. I either knew what was going on or I'm a total jinx.
I would say you're a coach of many years of experience.
I've seen it somewhere before, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have.
But Camden Williams, he's running off the field. He'll be okay. He'll be over here on the sideline. I think they're running out of people to stretch folks.
They are.
They're going to need a full staff of people to keep the calf muscles stretched on the sideline over here. And the offense will take the field again. 1st and 10.
Surprisingly, with all of this stop and start, we're moving the ball down the field.
E-Town will have 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line of the Wildcats. So
there's a lot of ways to throw a defense out of sync, and cramps is one of them.
2 wide to the right, wing to the left in the shotgun. Motion, no appealer, and jet sweep. Great
Trajan is turning it up the middle.
That's it.
Running outside.
Trajan Bradley.
Absolutely down to about the 7-yard line. Trajan Bradley turned it up.
They're doing a great job of sealing the edge. That time they were, Franklin Simpson was able to keep contained, but in doing so, they spread themselves out, and Trajan made a great cut.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Big props to the linemen for getting out there and sealing that down, giving that room.
Yeah, 65 on that side. Markel Brown looking good in the blocking schemes there. Good job by the guys up front.
That's also Joel Lapusto's side as well.
Absolutely. Looking good, looking good. All right, under center again, Clay Gaines from the 10-yard line. It's 1st and goal.
Pitch out.
Noah Peeler going backwards, but he makes one miss. Not going to make the second miss. Number 12, Tedrick.
He closed quickly. Number 12 was Tedrick Partinger.
And came up and made the tackle. And again, boy, whenever you've got a east-west kind of play going on, it gives the defense a lot of time to recover and make the play. So,
and these Franklin Simpson backs, they're fast. They close quickly for high school players.
Cameron McNeil out of the lineup. It's going to be 2nd and goal from the 16 now. Where the Panthers in long yardage again.
Trajan in the backfield, and the pitch goes out to Joseph Beek. He picks it up. He is continuing to run down to the 10-yard line. There is a penalty.
They have a face mask.
I believe we do.
Unbelievable.
That was the right bounce.
Clay is down again. This time I don't know if it's a cramp or not. He took a hit on the pitch.
Looks worse.
No, they're going to the stretching again, so it could be the cramping again. But what a play for the E-Town Panthers. They, a lot of misdirection there. They look like they're going to be running the jet sweep again. They come out the other direction. It's going to be an option play. The pitch is way wide. It's on the ground. Joseph Becker just makes a great athletic play, making two guys miss.
Picking that ball up off the carpet.
Picks it up, gains 5 yards when it looked like they were going to lose about 10. And now there's a flag on the play. They may have an automatic first down or at least a further gain. It looks like it was a face mask. Joseph's helmet was about off of him.
So obviously we've seen some adjustments, at least on the offensive as well, since they come out here. They figured out some things that they could do.
Foul. Illegal helmet contact. Defense. Half distance go. Replay number 2.
Half the distance to the goal.
Automatic personal foul from that spot. They're gonna go half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul. Illegal contact to the head. I thought it was a face mask, but obviously some kind of helmet-to-helmet type of affair. Illegal hit to the head, maybe. Clay still down, and while he's there, unfortunately, E-Town's trying to get ready here. Let me also recognize Physical Therapy Associates. More personal attention for more effective results with locations in Elizabethtown, Hodgenville, Radcliffe, Brandenburg, Bardstown, and Louisville. Online at physicaltherapyky.com. Physical Therapy Associates. So far, no real serious injuries on the E-Town side, but boy, those cramps are starting to add up on them.
They really are.
And I've got a feeling Joseph Becker's going to be in the shotgun and taking the snap.
Becker's carrying.
Like he was when Clay Gaines came out of the game before.
Clay is definitely
Second and goal, Panthers.
in much more distress this time than he was that first time he rolled off.
Joseph Becker.
Well, the best thing for them would be to get this ball in the end zone. Joseph Becker under center, actually.
Trajan
Bradley, what a run.
Bradley takes it in.
What a response.
Absolutely.
Long drive to open the second half. They've run about 4 minutes off the clock. And Trajan Bradley, a big hole off the right side.
Runs it right in there.
Great blocking.
Beautiful.
Number 74, Ryan Piles, doing a great job clearing the way. Trajan Bradley not only going through the hole, but making a guy miss. A little jump cut on the right down by the end zone and into the end zone. Basically untouched.
Jackson Curto here for the extra point. And it is good. No, it is not. Off to the right.
Off the goalpost. It hit the post and bounced off.
To the right.
Looked good, but now we're even. Each team's missed an extra point, but what a great opening. I hope that doesn't discourage the Panthers after because that's a great answer.
Great
to
drive.
start the second
Absolutely.
half.
Another one of those highlights that we said, you take away what you can, and man, that was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
After a scoring drive.
4 minutes off the clock
81 yards
in that opening drive. As a coach, you've got to be happy with that. Not so much about the hydration, but absolutely happy with the result. See if we can get Clay back on here.
Yeah, trying to get back into the game, though, you're kind of got to be concerned that all your guys are going to be laying over on the sideline somewhere trying to get
right. I hope the defense has been sitting over here stretching as they've watched their offense limp down the field.
Well, I'm watching now an incredible crowd around the water machine they have down here on the sideline. They've got a big barrel.
It's a busy place.
It's just gotten a lot busier than I saw it earlier in the game. There's no appeal of getting a drink.
Which might be the
Bradley
problem.
had a drink.
Had it been busier at the beginning of the game, we might not be looking at what we're looking at.
Yeah.
So far, we haven't seen that issue for Franklin Simpson. They don't seem to have been suffering from it.
A little bigger roster. They've got a few more guys. They may be able to. I think they're
trade
a little
in and out
more
on that.
two platoon. I know that their top 4 or 5 skill kids have been on the field a lot, even on the defensive side. But I think they're able to rotate.
Makes a huge difference.
All right, Brandon Parsons to kick. Back deep, Tedrick Partinger.
Nice kick.
And on the catch, it's actually a Trey Bass. Nice.
Looks like we might have some blocking in the back here, sir.
21 McNeil down there on the tackle.
There was a lot of laundry thrown.
Number 20, Jeremiah Vea as well on the tackle. So a lot of guys getting down there and making plays in special teams. I think on the on a kickoff, this is the first time they've really been able to tackle them deep in their own end.
Right.
And there's a penalty as well. I think a hold. Is it a hold, Jeff?
I'm thinking that it was a late block. Block in the back. Yeah, that's what.
So that's going to back up the Wildcats even further.
Absolutely. That will take it back to about the 5. Yeah, the response that came on that made it seem like it had to be something on Franklin Simpson. It was pretty close to the ball, actually.
1st and 10, Franklin Simpson Wildcats from about the 11-yard line, somewhere between the 11 and 12, and they'll take over there. And let's see if E-Town's defense can respond the same way the offense has responded. We're sitting in a 4-man front still, very tight to the line of scrimmage.
And Mr. McKinney to the side.
I'm telling you, I am really impressed with what E-Town is, the fire they've got going on. A couple guys really getting after Carlos McKinney. There was a good hole there. We had an opportunity, the E-Town Panthers did. Camden Williams had an opportunity off the edge to make a tackle. Just dove and couldn't quite get the big fella down. But a little better position, and boy, they were really getting after him at the end of the run there.
There were some great angles of pursuit on that kept truck coming down on him.
A lot of fire from the Panthers. Let's see if they can actually get a stop. It's 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line on the left hash. We've got a double wing formation, tight end left. Luke Richardson under center.
Second man.
Tedrick Partinger on the carry for about 3 yards maybe, out to the 31-yard line. Tedrick Partinger is now down. And they're stretching his calf muscle.
So it apparently seems to be an offensive only issue.
Official timeout.
Well, we're going to get an awful lot of opportunities here to thank our sponsors as we
go. Let me take over on this one.
Try one.
We once again want to be thankful for Bluegrass Cellular. We're offering the most affordable unlimited plan anywhere. Where wireless works. Visit us at bluegrasscellular.com. And again, E-Town Exterminating, 737-6900. Online at mugabug.com. Mugabug.com. And a bank that's just continued to be growing over the years. West Point Bank has 5 offices located in Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Upton, Glendale, and West Point. And you can also find them online at westpointbank.com. Let us help make life simpler. West Point Bank, hometown banking made simple. You know, we also have some high school students that have been helping us out this evening.
Well, we're blessed to have a great staff here. Hardin County Education Television. Caleb Brzoska and Riley Carrick are working this evening on the cameras, technical support, doing a great job for us. We also want to thank Reed Sampley and David Tall for some of the work they're doing tonight. And as always, Dale Mings, who's running a great show here. We're thankful for all those guys. And all right, we're back. Tedrick Partinger's off the field. I'm sure he'll be feeling better here soon. Double wings, 2nd and 8 or 7 or so. Oh, there's the crisscross trap, and boy, they smelled that
Tuck him out right now.
fantastically.
They don't know what they did to make some adjustments, but maybe just as simple as firing off the line.
I saw Joseph Becker on that one. He saw the wing back coming back across the formation, and he was able to kind of cross key, see the opposite wing coming back across the formation, and able to make a play on that. I think what you just got to read your keys. You got to see who's pulling guard. Or you don't pull away from the play. You always take the pulling guards, pulling tackles are going to take you to the play. And if your eyes are in the right place as a defender, it's going to take you where the ball's going. Can't always watch the action of the backs because it'll take you away from where you want to go.
Right.
All right, we got a timeout here.
Another timeout. Is this an official's timeout, or was this an E-Town timeout?
No, it's Franklin Simpson. It's 3rd and long. We've got 3rd and 7 here, and
great opportunity to just really shut down their offense and gets on offense back on the field here. Boy, what a momentum turn this could be right now if we could begin to just kind of come back out. I mean, I realize it's 27-13, but that is by no means unreachable.
Absolutely, and I think Coach Preston over on the opposite sideline with Franklin Simpson recognizes that. He sees a big 3rd down 7 play. He'd love to pick it up right here. And so he wanted to have a word. He called that timeout. He wanted to have a word with his offense. Maybe he's seeing him a little sluggish coming out after half. E-Town's kind of been taking it to him from the second half kickoff, offensively, obviously, and now defensively, with a lot more energy.
It's a 4-quarter game. Doesn't matter how much you're up at halftime. If you decide to stop, the other team doesn't.
It's absolutely, and a little surprising again out of this senior-laden state championship team. But guys, it's been a long time since that December state championship, and these guys are playing in the heat of August right now, and they're facing a whole different challenge. So, wing T formation to the left. And just as you'd expect, Carlos, it's not Carlos, it's second back
man through. And he did get the first down by about 1 yard.
That's about an 8 or 9 yard pickup. A great job by Trey Bass. And we've got another,
I believe it's Lowe's Grimes.
Maybe Cameron, maybe it is Lowe. Grimes. Getting stretched out. Great play there. I was fooled.
Yes, I was too.
Belly, second man through on the belly play. They faked it to Carlos McKinney, and Carlos did an amazing job. He ran it like he had the football.
He 100%
He's 20 yards downfield, doing his assignment. Boy, that's some good discipline.
That is absolutely good coaching and discipline right there. Continue through.
This may be a referee's and official's timeout to hydrate kids. We're starting to see some issues with.
There's just too many of them.
Yeah, I see a lot of the kids stretching. They're getting hydrated here, and this may be one that the officials called because I didn't see anybody call a timeout.
I didn't see him point to either of the sidelines as well.
We're going to take care of the kids here and make sure everybody's okay, I guess, and getting plenty of water. So a big push for that. We want to make sure we're focused on kids.
Well,
what's good for
those of you that are watching it here on TV and aren't here, it was, the first half, there was pretty much a cool breeze for, most of the first half. And then all of a sudden that breeze just stopped and the humidity came in. And so it definitely changed things here. And we do now have Mr. McKinney running the ball right up the middle.
9 yard pickup almost to midfield. It'll be 2nd and 1 for the Franklin Simpson Wildcats from their own 49 yard line.
He runs that ball a little bit like a UK Wildcat that I can recall in the last couple of years. Boom, or Bam, I believe.
Okay. That's right.
Straight and hard and right up the middle.
All right, tight formations again. Double wing, tight end right. 2nd and 1.
Oh.
Noah Peeler had an opportunity blitzing into the backfield, just couldn't quite wrap up.
He touched him. That was it. Takes far more than a touch to bring him down. And just like that, what was an important 3rd down turned into a conversion, and now we're on the other side of the field.
1st and 10.
E-Town 39.
On the tackle for E-Town was 65, Markel Brown. I've heard his name on the offensive side now and on the defensive side, so the young offensive lineman's doing and defensive lineman's doing a good job. All right, 1st and 10 from the E-Town 49-yard line. Wing T formation right. Buck sweep. We've got 2 guards leading the play. And Trey Bass on another 6 or 7 yard pickup.
Trey Bass.
It's pretty much a sure thing.
Well, when you've got when you're Franklin Simpson and you've got guys like Dalton Hunter and Terry Scarborough, Jack Randolph, A.J. Burr, and Sean Woods, the 5 big guys up front, experienced, big road graders up front, and they're just, they're going to steal the momentum right back, and they're just going to push around a little bit of a smaller, outmatched E-Town defensive front. And so that's what you do when you're, when the other team's trying to make a comeback on you, you just steal control back with the big guys.
Especially when you don't have a whole lot of confidence in your quarterback's arm. And it's become pretty obvious that as highly as Coach Preston thinks of his quarterback, he certainly doesn't see the confidence in the arm.
Number 12, Jackson Curto on the tackle, saving a touchdown there.
Carlos
McKinney again on a 14-yard pickup there on a fullback trap. They've been running a dive play. They've been running a trap play. They've been running an X-buck that they run to the weak side of the formation. All those are quick handoffs to the fullback, and that kid is wearing out the defensive front of E-Town. So Coach Preston's plan seems to be working to wear down this team here as much fight as the Panthers have. They're starting to falter a bit here late.
Absolutely. Picked him up right there pretty much right after he broke through the line. Didn't let him break that open for a whole lot more. But
McKinney on about a 4-yard pickup. I believe 2nd and 6 from the E-Town Panthers 16-yard line. Need a big stop here. 27-13, late 3rd quarter. You go down by 3 scores at this point. It's going to be kind of tough to come back.
Very difficult
from that. They need a big stop here, and it's 2nd and 6. This may be your best shot here. 2 big stops, and hopefully hold them to a field goal attempt. Maybe Joseph Becker can make a play on a field goal. We've seen him on the extra points. Luke Richardson under center. Wing T right. Second back through. Great play.
Beautiful play.
Joseph Becker.
Right, Becker, just as you called his number. He didn't do it on the kick, but he did it. Absolutely. Busted right through that line, read it perfectly, took him down just as he was getting the ball.
5-yard tackle for loss. He was not fooled a bit by the fake to the fullback, Carlos McKinney. This time on the buck sweep look. And again, Jeff, whenever you're pulling guards, the thing that can happen is that guard, when he leaves, can leave a lane for that linebacker. And if the linebacker sees it, he can hit it immediately and make a play in the backfield. And that's what Joseph did. Big 3rd and 10. Whether
one of the coaches pointed that out to Joseph on over during the halftime break or not. Once again, now we brought him down to a 3-yard gain.
McKinney straight ahead. I think they were ready for him that time. I think they were keying the right guy, and he's going to leave him a 4th and 7. And I think the field goal team is going to be coming onto the field for the Wildcats. This is a big one. This would make it a 3-score game, but great job by the E-Town Panther defense.
Got to give it to him for not giving up, not getting down.
Fantastic to be out there that long and be that tired and then get a stop.
Big plays really impact you, but just being beat up all the way down the field just really breaks your heart. See if Becker can swing in around the side here and knock this down. He's set up and ready.
Cole Hollingsworth on the attempt. Number 35 for the Franklin Simpson Wildcats. It'll be a 35-yard attempt from the 25-yard line here. Snap, hold, it's up.
Oh, and just exactly what we talked about.
And it's good.
It was good, but what we talked about, both E-Town men met in the middle. And Becker seems to be the one who took the brunt of it.
51 seconds remaining.
They were both coming full speed right from the kicker.
Well, you gotta give the guys a lot of credit because everybody's going hard trying to get the block. They wanted the ball, but they wanted Becker coming off the edge to try to get that. Becker went head first into his own teammate coming from the other side. That's what we were talking about in the first half.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you have guys coming from off of both edges, you're going to get somebody hurt. And Becker is shaking up a little bit. I think he's going to be okay.
Definitely is.
That hurt, man. He had a couple teammates coming off the opposite side and diving head first, and they went head first into each other, and he took the worst of it. And Coach Brown was a little bit heated going out on the field there. I don't know if he was, if that was the issue he was noting, but I think it was. He wasn't too happy about.
Well, as you said earlier, that's an absolute coaching discipline issue, and if he had coached them exactly ahead of time to not do that, certainly would be an issue to be upset
Sometimes
about.
kids want to make a play and they forget about the design of what you're trying to do, and so you got a couple of guys maybe trying to make a play. Their hearts are in the right place, but their heads aren't. And coaches coach them to do one thing, to try to allow Joseph Becker an opportunity to go get that kick. And unfortunately now the score with 51 seconds to go in the third quarter is 30-13, down 17. If you're down 16, it's still 2 scores, but down 17 now, they're down 3 scores. It's going to take quite an effort here. They've really, I think, outplayed this Franklin Simpson team for the third quarter, but
they certainly have.
They're in a bit of a hole at this point. So
gave up a couple of really key long conversions. Otherwise,
Hollingsworth kick away. Fielded, I believe, by T.J. Allen. No, that's Love Grimes again. Love up the middle.
2-yard line. And carrying that back out, continuing to keep those moving. 32-yard line. What a return by Love Grimes.
17 Grimes.
Well, we've been impressed with him. He's really playing hard, working hard.
Boy,
big special teams plays.
An athletic kid.
He's probably not one of their top guys, but that's the kind of effort you need from your special teams kids, your defensive backs, your receivers to make plays, and that kid's made a lot of plays tonight.
He's got some athleticism to him, but boy, with that heart combined with that athleticism, you're going to get some results.
He's a junior. All right, so we got double wing starting on their 30-yard lines. Clay Games in the game. Toss to Joseph Becker, and he turned that up hard. Good authoritative run for about 5-yard gain.
He may have been shaken up a little bit on that special play, but he's not showing it right now.
He's ready to play. I think he's ready to fight this thing out to the end. So
he's an absolute stud when it comes to being a ball player.
Cameron McNeil checking in for Noah Peeler.
35-yard line.
Noah's needing a rest after a long defensive series. And we got double wing again. E-Town is much sharper in the second half, offensively, defensively. You see Clay Games stretching it out again before the snap here, trying to stay on the field.
Not missing an opportunity to. Quick out.
Quick screen again. Camden Williams. Another 8-yard pickup on the quick screen. As long as they can complete that, it's going to be a successful play.
Absolutely is. I'm actually really surprised that Coach Preston hasn't been able to read that better.
Well, maybe tighten it up a little bit, especially on Camden Williams' side, because all of those quick screens have been to him.
Right.
That play went out of bounds, but the clock is being wound, and that'll be the end of the third quarter.
8-yard gain to the 43-yard line. First on E-Town.
Physical Therapy and Associates, more personal attention for more effective results. With locations in E-Town, Hodgenville, Radcliffe, Brandenburg, Bardstown, and Louisville, online at physicaltherapy.com. Brandenburg Telecom, providing for service for all of our telecommunication needs. We are thankful for all of our sponsors tonight. Once again, we live in a community where there's a lot of support, a lot of networking, a lot of connections, and we are just very thankful for all of these supporters and more. Bluegrass Cellular, offering the most affordable unlimited plan anywhere where wireless works. Visit us at bluegrasscellular.com and etownapartments.com by Mark Harris Construction. Take a virtual tour today at etownapartments.com.
All right, fourth quarter. Interestingly enough, the ritual football, it's seemingly a strange ritual because everybody does it, but everybody holds their hand up with four fingers extended. But I'm not seeing anybody doing it on either sideline.
I'm not.
We may have some tired young players out here.
Apparently they're not. That was an absolute as long ago, and I'm old enough to know that this was my 40th high school reunion year, and that was the first time I'd ever heard of that ritual back when I was playing football. We would hold up the floor and scream as loud as we could.
We've got some tired guys. I know they're ready to play. They're playing with a lot of passion and heart right now. jet sweep.
Trajan is breaking it out around the side.
Bradley, big run.
Nice
on
job.
the jet sweep, about a 22-yard pickup. Another first down for the Panthers into Franklin Simpson territory, out of bounds at the Franklin Simpson 38-yard line. They'll have the ball on the right hash.
Beautiful run by Trajan Bradley.
I tell you, though, as much as Franklin Simpson has worn down the Panthers are wearing down the Wildcat defense, and they have been really sharp, executing better on offense. They're in the shotgun now. Trips left.
They're not laying down.
They absolutely are not.
And we just had our first interception of the game.
Well, Clay just overthrew. He had no appealer down the seam. And we were expecting to see Javon Covington, number 2 from Franklin Simpson, on offense make some big catches, but there he is, a free safety. And if you put the ball up down the middle of the field, that kid's got a good opportunity to go get it. Drive stalls on a turnover, and the Franklin Simpson Wildcats will take over on their own 27-yard line.
You have a big 6'5" man standing out there in the middle of the field as a free safety. That's a lot. That's a big hurdle to get over moving down.
High throws down the middle of the field equal turnovers a lot of the time. So there's your your first big mistake. Obviously, the opposing quarterback threw a pick in the first half, but Clay's first big error that he's made on the game there, just understanding that concept.
Thankfully, it was deep in territory. So
ball on the ground, fumble,
and it is.
Oh, they're fighting over it in there.
Moving.
Boy, Noah Peeler had an opportunity to jump
did.
on that on the Carlos McKinney fumble. That's Carlos's second fumble of the game.
E-Town's claiming it, and so is Franklin Simpson.
Number 52,
I believe
Gary Galloway
has the ball.
They've got it, and they got it. I can't see in the pile who's got it, Jeff. But
all I know is the men in black and white say it's E-Town.
Big turnover. Wow.
Wow. That is absolutely timing perfect.
Well, he broke into the secondary, and another big hit. Helmet, shoulder pad right on the ball.
You mentioned it a few times tonight, but very impressive tackle for
recovered by the Panthers.
We're seeing from E-Town.
21.
So often at the high school level, that seems to be something sometimes that is just lacking. There seems to be this mindset that if I just hit you, you're going to go down. But that's the result right there.
Absolutely. So E-Town will take over on the 38-yard line, 1st and 10 of the Franklin Simpson Wildcats, and the offense can go back to work here and hopefully continue to wear down this Wildcat. Oh, they jumped. No flag. Wow. Trajan Bradley around the left side, and that
And off to number 6, Bradley.
loss of a couple yards. It looked like Joseph Becker jumped a little early on the left side here, but they didn't catch it. E-Town will be 2nd and 12.
So we lose 2 instead of 5.
Of 2 at the 40-yard line. 2nd and 12.
11-13 remaining in the 4th quarter here. E-Town looking to make something happen. They need to put points on the board quickly here and to put a dent in the lead. Shotgun formation, sprint right. Quick out route. Cedric Williams,
got
good
his man.
throw and catch. There it is. What a good throw.
Beautiful
Off
catch.
of coming off of an interception.
Camden Williams.
Beautiful catch.
Throws for about an 8-yard gain.
Definitely have to be impressed with
Camden Williams on another big catch out
Absolutely.
there. He's really starting to work and make a lot of plays. So
Clay Games not backing down at all.
absolutely,
3rd and 4,
absolutely love that
Panthers.
from the sophomore. He's still stretching that calf every play. Trips left, sprint out left, throwing deep down the field, nobody there.
No one is there. You're absolutely right.
I think Noah Peeler got bumped off his route. Trey Bass was there to break the play up as well as Javon Covington. That'll leave a 4th and 4 situation here. Big play. Again, they've got to go for it, down 3 scores.
Noah Peeler's coming off the side, so Clay's staying in.
He just made another deep route there, and that's a lot of running, deep route, then back to the huddle. So they're going to give him a quick rest. All right, 4 wide receivers.
Trajan.
Joseph Becker to the right.
And Becker.
Trajan open and overthrown. Trajan Bradley open on a crossing route. They did a nice little pick play with Cameron McNeil and Trajan Bradley crossing across the middle of the field. Ball was just slightly overthrown. The route may have been a little slow. It looks like Trajan's not at full speed at this point.
Maybe slowing down a little bit.
Maybe.
It's one of those plays where their defensive back started to go for the interception. I don't know if he had the presence of mind to think, I do not need to catch this ball right now.
Absolutely.
Standing on the 15-yard line.
Yeah. All right, well, the Franklin Simpson Wildcats will take over 1st and 10 on their own 32-yard lines. We've seen possessions exchanged here now a couple times.
Quickly.
Very quickly. Turnover and a 4-and-out. And buck sweep to the right. Trey Bass doesn't look like he's slowed down much.
No,
big run, 15-yard run.
No slow there.
They've been running
Tackled by number 11.
fullback so much. McKinney's been running so much, and Bass just looks fresh, really fresh.
15-yard gain to the 47-yard line. 1st and 10 of Wildcats.
Number 60, Joel Presto, hands on knees. Again, Panthers and both teams fighting fatigue at this point. He's played both sides of the ball beautifully, but starting maybe to wear down a little bit.
Watching some of the E-Town offensive skill players over here.
Buck sweep right again. Trey Bass.
Breaking out around the side, deciding to go out of bounds instead of taking a hit.
8-yard pickup.
Bass
Trey
out of
Bass. And
bounds.
again, it's kind of interesting, Jeff. It looks like after we've gotten a heavy dose of McKinney,
It's time for Trey Bass.
it's time for Trey Bass to kind of start.
Well, you know, if you're tired and cramping up, you don't want to try to chase the fast guy.
Exactly.
2nd and 2 Wildcats.
Gotten beat up a little bit.
And Carlos McKinney coming out of the game. Trey Bass coming out of the game. We're going to get a couple more fresh legs on the field. And, well, E-Town's not getting fresh legs on the field. Again, we've got a little more depth and experience on the other side.
When you look at the difference in rosters, I mean, we're almost looking at twice the number of players. It's amazing, the difference.
24 Carter on the
Number
fullback
24, Malik Carter.
trap, and he picks up 3. They needed 2, so 1st and 10. Franklin Simpson Wildcats on the E-Town 43-yard line. Number 4, Joseph Becker on the tackle and getting up slowly, but it looks like he'll stay in the game.
Right. I don't think he's coming off unless
And
he's
3 to the
hurt,
42.
although he is coming
1st
off
and
at this
10
moment.
Wildcats.
Coach brought
51,
him off.
Zach Young is going to replace him at linebacker. Yeah, probably a good idea to get him a quick rest and probably back
He's
on
not
the
going
field.
to. He's not going to do that on his own.
Absolutely. Trips left. Interesting formation. We haven't seen him throw the ball, Luke Richardson, but one time. And not very well, but there's
Mr. McKinney.
Carlos McKinney again up the middle on the
To the
dive.
side. Get it down to about the 23-yard
And up to
line.
number 9.
Nice pickup, about
McKinney.
20 yards again. We don't have an official stat keeper here, Jeff, but Carlos McKinney, I suspect, is approaching a couple hundred yards.
That's would be.
I
thought you were going to say 100. I think that ship sailed a while ago.
Yeah,
I think
that sailed the first half. We've seen about 10 or 12 of those 15 to 20-yard carries, along with a few other hard yards that he's been able to gain. So
you chunk out 15 and 20 a few times, you've had a good night.
1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. The E-Town Panthers are trying to bow up their neck and get a little tough and try to get another stop. They need to stop here with 9:16 to go in the game. Buck sweep around the left to Trey Bass. And he's broke. Oh my goodness! He just broke 3 tackles in the secondary
Bounced
and scored
off
a
2 or
touchdown.
3 and
Wow.
cut back to the right.
Well, from about 24 yards out, he around the left side. Looked like they had him hemmed in the secondary after about a 12-yard gain on the sideline, and he broke 2 or 3 tackles and took it into the end zone. That looked like some tired tackling attempts.
That is where
on
you're
the
beginning
sideline.
to see the young team begin to break down.
Young team breaking down. They've been on the field a lot. And fatigue is, these are some tough kids, some brave kids. They've been fighting really hard. They came out in the second half with a lot of energy and a lot of fight. But the old saying is fatigue makes cowards of us all, and those guys were a little bit outgunned at that point.
Absolutely.
Extra
Is
point.
with 9:05
Good.
remaining in the game.
37-13, 9:05 to go in the fourth
7.
quarter.
Panthers 13.
And the Franklin Simpson Wildcats
37-13.
appear to be returning the
Wildcats
favor
scoring
from
drive,
last
5
year's.
plays,
So if you're coach at this point in time, you've got 9 minutes left in the first quarter, first game of the year.
yards and 1 minute 39
You've
seconds.
had a lot of
Scoring play,
cramping
25
up.
yards,
Is this a
touchdown
time
run,
where you
number
start
10.
bringing in some of your
Trey
younger
Bass.
guys, bringing in some of your backups to give them a little experience and also, reduce that risk of some more cramping up?
I think on both sides of the ball, that's probably a good idea for obviously for your team that's ahead 37-13. You don't want to see any of your guys out there when there's a lot of fatigue.
Right.
But even for E-Town, it doesn't hurt you to get some young guys, some experience, and not have guys out there that don't need to be out there. One thing you don't want to do, though, Jeff, is make your team think you're quitting. I don't care if you're down 37-13, but whatever
Absolutely.
message you're going to send, if you're going to
Right.
keep your best guys out there, it's because you're looking them in the eye and telling them, we fight these things out to the
Play
very
hard.
end. I don't care what it is. So we'll see what Coach Brown decides
Right.
to do. It's really, you really can't make a bad decision on that right now, I don't think, on that side of the ball. I think on the other side, when you're up big like that, you probably need to get a few guys out of the game.
And I bring that up because I think there's always two perspectives. The people in the stand are watching this and they're thinking, well, why don't you just do that? But, when you're coaching a team, you're trying to teach them to play to win regardless, to play to the end, to go to, whistle to whistle, first to the end. And you're exactly right. I mean, if you just start bringing everybody off, you are teaching the kids something.
Send a message. So on the other sideline, Coach Preston probably needs to start doing a little more substituting. At this point, he certainly doesn't want to give up anything. He certainly wants his kids to play to the end, but
Right.
I think he needs to make that decision. But E-Town, I don't think Mark can make a bad decision. You pull guys out, it's understandable. You leave them on the field, you're sending a message, we're not stopping. It doesn't matter if we're down 4
Either way.
scores or what. All right, Cole Hollingsworth on the kick. Deep left, out of bounds.
About the 8-yard line.
Flag's right. Love Grimes couldn't
Hollingsworth
field that
kick
one.
out
It
of
was
bounds.
headed out of bounds.
Panthers will take over.
So it comes back out to
That's the
they're
35.
going to bring that out to the 35-yard line. So we'll get some very good field position.
Panthers will start 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. Middle of the field.
35 yards line.
E-Town's back out there with their number 1 team.
No substituting on either side of the ball yet. We're 9:05 to go, and the coaches are wanting to play it all the way out. So we'll just see how everybody fares here. Great cut by Noah Peeler, but 2 more guys there to make the tackle.
And up to number 8, Noah Peeler.
We haven't called Noah's name as many times as some of the others, but he's definitely played a good game tonight.
Jeff, he
also
was
played
a
with a lot
major
of heart.
factor in the first half, and I
Absolutely.
think he's played a little more both sides of the ball than I know Jay.
2nd and 10, Panthers.
Joseph Becker has played a lot on both sides of the ball as well, but Noah's put a lot of minutes, and he's
got to be feeling it at this point
that's
in
why
time.
I don't think we've called his name as much. All right, wing T left.
No reflection on
2nd
the
and
effort.
10. Little waggle pass down the middle to Becker. Oh, just over his outstretched arm. He's covered by Trey Bass.
Very
James
good
Bass
coverage
to
on that.
Number 4, Joseph Becker.
Bass positioned himself right
Again,
behind
Trey Bass on
Becker,
coverage
so
for
he
the
just kept
Wildcats.
him from reaching out to him.
Completion brings up 3rd and 10.
Well, he kind of run the sweep a couple times, the
Panther.
buck sweep, and that time they faked the buck sweep, come out on a bootleg action, and try to throw it to the backside post.
Wasn't an
And,
awful pass, just got a little bit.
Just slightly
little bit above him.
overthrown, and it would have taken an incredibly precise throw to get that one in there. So
Right. Again,
no harm done at this point. 3rd and 10 from their 35-yard line. Need another conversion here. Trips right. Braden Bradley in motion. Gains back the pass. He hits Becker in the flat
Becker.
on a swing pass.
and Becker comes down at about the 38-yard line.
A good 4-yard gain, and if you're looking to go for it on 4th down, that doesn't hurt you. It gets you closer. It puts you in a
A little bit more
3rd
manageable.
and 6 or 7 situation, so or 4th and 6 or 7 situation.
And that looks, no, I do believe we have our punting team coming on.
Joseph Becker, hands on knees. He's put in a great effort tonight,
Tired man.
and he's worn out.
Set to punt for the Panthers.
There's no reason to hang heads on this one.
Absolutely
Wildcats number 2.
It's been a good game. Maybe not the close game we thought, but
Right.
these kids have played their hearts out, and it's been a really good effort. Nice
Lot-
punt, play
lot of-
games.
And he taps it down about 28-yard line.
54, Gavin Cross downing that, and one of the better punts Clay games. He's got more comfortable in the punting role after a shaky start. He's had a couple of really good punts, and he's fighting some leg cramps. That's a really good job with leg cramps.
Pretty tough if you're fighting leg cramps to go out there and punt the ball. A lot of Panther pride needing to go on right now, sir.
Absolutely. We're seeing it. We've seen it the whole second half.
Absolutely.
Hopefully the fatigue is something they can overcome for 7.5 minutes to go here. Franklin Simpson will take over on their own 29-yard line. 1st and 10, Wildcats.
So where's E-Town playing next week? Are they back home again? We need to look at our schedule and update our.
I did not pass that test.
I didn't either.
Well, we got a little bit of a spread look here, but double wing. Another
Mr.
give.
McKinney right up the middle.
McKinney for another 10-yard gain.
Carlos McKinney is.
Looks like it'll be a 1st and 10. He's picked that up with an 11-yard gain there.
Actually, next week is an open week, August 24th, and then on 31st they come back against North Hardin at North Hardin.
And Hardin County Television will have that game for you. We'll be in Radcliffe for that game. We'll see these E-Town Panthers again. See in the open week and the bye week. They've got 2 weeks until that contest. What they can do as far as improvement, as far as overcoming some fatigue issues, overcoming some nervous and maybe poor execution in the first half. The execution in the second half has been much better. We're starting to see them maybe wear down a little bit here.
But once again, have to give them some props for the very few penalties that they've had in this game. I mean, you're tired, you're getting beat up a little bit, but to maintain discipline and not have penalties, once again, great coaching and good discipline.
And Franklin Simpson, on the other hand, another penalty, and they'll be 1st and 25 as McKinney's run will be erased. Back to their own 14-yard line here. Wing T formation to the left. Buck sweep left, Trey Bass in the open field. Love Grimes with an opportunity, could not make the tackle. Trey Bass stops just short of the first down. Number 12, Jackson Curto making the tackle in the open field. Big tackle, stops him just short of the first down.
You know, if there is one surprise this game, it would have to be the number of penalties by Franklin Simpson. But it also shows you what kind of game they're playing, the ground game they're having. In spite of all of those penalties, they've still been able to have
2nd and 3,
the massive yardages that they've racked up.
Well, 2nd down, a long 3.
See if the D can pull some strength together here and shut them down.
Linebackers playing tight in their 4-4 look. Another fullback trap. Carlos McKinney on an 8-yard gain.
Up to about the 46-yard line.
McKinney tackled by number 12.
Big tackle for Curto again. That's a couple in a row for him. Unfortunately for the E-Town Panthers, he's making those tackles from the free safety position, which means we're tackling guys in the secondary an awful lot. And
1st and 10.
Again, the physicality of this big 4A team and their fantastic offensive line is really winning the day.
When your secondary is making most of the tackles, that's going to make for a long game for anybody.
That's a problem, isn't it?
Those guys can tackle and hit hard, but they're not usually the ones who are made for endurance.
Trey Bass around right end. Number 11, Calvin Griffin on the tackle. As you can see, I think they have been doing some substituting on the E-Town side. You still see a few of their starters on the field fighting it out to the bitter end, but we've got a few new faces, new jerseys on the field.
Parcel in and out there.
Jackson on carry.
It was a pretty big hit coming around this side there on Trey Bass. He didn't jump right back up.
And 54, Gavin Cross checking in for Noah Peeler again. The starters are needing a little bit of rest here late in the game.
Wildcats.
And maybe not taking chances with some of their top players, but these young guys are doing a good job trying to put up a fight and get a stop here. Second and 3 here from the E-Town 47-yard line, the Wildcats. coming to the line of scrimmage. Double wing formation. Luke Richardson under center. Kenny on the fullback trap again. A lot of space.
Kenny up to the 40.
I don't think
he's still not down, but the play is over.
I don't think Jackson Curto was one of the starters, but he's going to get himself on the stat sheet here, making an awful lot of tackles. Doing a good job.
Made a good stop. Once again, it was about 10 yards after the fact. So
it's never fun when you're free safety and you're staring down 6'1", 230 running at you like that.
No, you got some steam going at that
free
point
through
in
the
time.
hole. That's a little concerning for that.
And when the man never actually hits the carpet, he just gets stopped.
All right, double wing formation again. Tight end right. And second back through. Partinger with the ball. Chedrick Partinger for about a 22-yard gain.
We have not called his number a whole lot this evening.
He's been one of the fill-ins as guys are getting tired. He's had 3 or 4 carries and been pretty successful. Played well at the cornerback position on the defensive side of the ball.
Again, just more evidence of their depth when you can have a guy like that come in as your third back and produce like that, even though it is towards the end of the game and there's some fatigue setting in, to say the least.
Clock running, and I'm sure we haven't seen Coach Preston call a pass play but once, and that didn't go too well, but he's going to try to keep this clock running right here. And
I would say that's my second big surprise of this game is the lack of a passing game at all.
Well, we knew they didn't throw the ball a lot.
And you don't really need to when you can run it. Chase Gooch takes it up to about the 1 yard line.
Big run for Chase. He's had a couple of carries tonight in a backup role for about 15, 16 yards. They're down to the 1. But, yeah, they were not much of a passing team last year with 85 passes in 15 games. But
15-yard gain.
1 pass.
2-yard line, first and goal.
That's in this day and age. I mean, there were time periods where that was not unexpected, but that's just not the way football's played. And even at the high school level, it's a passing game.
When we talked to Coach Doug Preston before the game, he spoke glowingly of Luke Richardson, but he did. We haven't seen a need, I don't guess. They've been very successful in the run game. All right, first and goal from about the 1, maybe the 2 yard line here. It's going to be Gooch again on the buck sweep to the left.
He is
touchdown.
In for the touchdown.
And off to Gooch.
Wildcats around the left side there. So,
well,
as we see here in the last 6 or 7 minutes, as will happen in some of these kinds of games, the score is going to look a lot worse than it was. There was a pretty competitive football game going on for about 3 quarters.
And that third quarter, we really have to go back and highlight the fact that E-Town was absolutely taking it to them. They really were.
7-3 E-Town in the third quarter. Unfortunately, I think the legs
just stopped.
And everything else has gassed out. And the big fellas up front have leaned on us enough where the Panthers have not been able to finish it off. So
set for the extra point.
And Hollingsworth up and good.
Well, you know, we just mentioned they've got an open weekend. And talked about the simple fact that sometimes you learn a lot more from a loss than you do a win. And even though it's hard, nobody wants to do that. But after this loss, I'm almost thankful for them that they have the week off next week, that they can just really work through this, put it behind them, learn from it, and get ready for a North Hardin team that they have a good shot at. And so I have to give it to the coach, and I'm sure knowing Coach Brown is like you do and the history he has, he's going to take every advantage of this next 2 weeks.
Coaches like Coach Brown do a great job in bye weeks. I was a head football coach at several different schools. And I feel in my confident, arrogant way that I did some things very well. Managing a bye week may not have been one of my strengths.
Not sure. Was it your highlight?
I don't know if we got a lot better during those bye weeks. Probably why Coach Brown's standing on the sideline tonight and I'm sitting here in the booth. That guy he'll have his team improve and get better.
That's something
from this experience.
Yeah.
And
there's some coaches that really know how to parlay that into something. You know, you think about that on the professional level. As much as I hate to admit it, you look at a guy like Bill Belichick. You know, I don't care what team it is. They're going into Bill Belichick after a bye week. you pretty much know you're taking a loss on that one. You know, there's just something about the genius of knowing how to take 2 weeks and prepare for another team and learn from what you came off.
You're balancing the idea of rest with continuing to condition. Hollingsworth teeing it up, kicking it deep. Grimes with the ball again.
Grimes breaking it out, still moving out around the side.
Out to 40, good block. Oh, that was a good block.
Beautiful.
Over the 40, they called a block in the back on Gavin Cross, 54. I'm sitting, it was dead even with me at the 42-yard line. He hit the kid square in the chest. Oh, the black and white's been good all night tonight. And
until
that
one. That's a sad way to end it.
It really is. Love Grimes making a great run.
Best return of the evening.
Oh, they missed it. Well, it happened.
They missed it. It does happen. At least, fortunately, it's not that it's going to change the outcome of the game, but for the kids' sake, it would have been nice for them to come off of a really nice run.
Great effort by Gavin, 54. It's Gavin Cross.
So do they mark this at the spot of the foul?
They will. They take it from the spot of the foul, so that'll take him back to about the 30-yard line, somewhere in that area. Gavin Cross just hustled and made a really good block. But the hard part about that is anytime you're blocking a guy on those open field kind of plays, they're bang-bang plays. And
so fast.
You don't know what an official's going to see or not see. I saw head across in front, his head on the guy's numbers that he blocked. So I feel really confident that Gavin made a great play there and sprung his return man for about 25 more yards, but unfortunately
he's got the yellow flag in his pocket.
That's right. So they'll take over from the 27-yard line, the E-Town Panthers. Double handoff, reverse
up the middle.
Joseph Betcher deep into the secondary.
He's
Still
gone.
on his feet.
He is continuing to move down to the 44-yard line. Amazing run.
About a 33, 34-yard run. Great pickup.
Absolutely. Beautiful play. Well executed.
The crisscross reverse and inside handoff with a trap. Beautifully executed. Joseph is coming off the field. Again, a play like that takes a lot of energy when you're fresh, and he's not fresh right now.
No, he's not.
But a great play, a great run. Good call, Coach, and still continuing to execute. Noah Peeler around left side, making strong cuts. Good move.
A lot of components to that play.
Number 8, Noah
moving the ball down. Be nice to see E-Town end
9
up
or
with a
10
score
yard
here.
gain. Let's see here. It'll be 2nd and 1. Good run by Noah Peeler. Looking out on the field. I'm seeing a few of the reserves in for the Wildcats, but a lot of their starters are still on the field. I'm still seeing
Javon Covington in the middle and the back.
And several of their starting guys out on the field, but
trying
they're
to prevent
starting
anything
to
long.
Absolutely. Down the middle.
Almost some tip drill there.
Overthrown. McNeil,
pretty gutsy play. Target. He was wide open in the middle there. He was totally had the flat open in the middle there and just off of his fingertips.
Cameron McNeil straight down the field in the seam and coming from a tight slot position. And the linebackers were parting to drop into their zones, and he was wide open, just slightly overthrown. All right.
You could pay a heavy price.
Wing T right. Minute 51 to go. E-Town trying to put another one. But Trajan Bradley through the
right
line.
Right in the middle. Breaks it open.
Another broken tackle. Second broken tackle.
Number 6, Trajan.
Beautiful run by Trajan Bradley. No give up. Gotta love that.
About a 25-yard pickup. It'll be 1st and goal from about the 9-yard line. Middle of the field, and the E-Town Panthers are threatening late in the 4th quarter.
Love to see him continuing to play with heart here.
Down E-Town.
And some urgency, hustling the line. Wing T formation to the left. Trajan Bradley off the left side, dragging defenders.
Continuing to pull them in there.
Down to the 1 or 2 yard line.
Number 6, Bradley.
Beautiful play. That's just the kind of football that anybody who's a football aficionado has to love when the legs just keep churning and just keep rolling.
Trajan Bradley has been a load. As much as you love Joseph Becker, Trajan Bradley's had a heck of a game.
And he's going to carry it in right now for the touchdown, rightly so.
Number 6,
touchdown Panthers.
Touchdown.
30-yard run for Becker and followed up by 3 great runs from Trajan Bradley and
beautiful
E-Town
sequence
Panthers.
of plays.
They put another touchdown on the board.
Might balance that lopsided score out a little bit to make it a little bit more truthful about what the game really was.
Absolutely. Brandon Parsons on for the extra point. Snap up. Handled well.
And it is good.
Kick through. Good hold.
Good kick. Let's see if that
23, Dakota Brown did a great job getting that on the tee.
He really did.
It was a tough snap to handle, and he was able to get that down. Good hands. Good work. You see a lot of tired Panthers coming off the sideline, but it feels a little better when you just put one on board. Well, 103 to go.
44 to 20.
Simpson, 44, E-Town 20. I'd like to again thank HCEC-TV. It's a student production, a division of Hardin County Schools. Special thanks to our live sports coverage sponsors, Brandenburg Television, Physical Therapy Associates, eTownApartments.com, Bluegrass Cellular, E-Town Exterminating, and West Point Bank. And Jeff, we're down to the last minute here. And we're just hoping everybody gets out of here safe and the game not in doubt.
You know what? It didn't rain.
Well, how about that?
We had some thoughts there at the beginning of the game that we might not get through this without a little bit of rain, and so thankfully that didn't happen. Not saying that might not happen here in about an hour or so, but
it's been a good night for football.
Absolutely. And again, I hope that the team takes this absolutely in perspective. I mean, good grief, they're playing the state champ 4A team, regardless of what they did to them at the beginning. That was a totally different scenario. So
Parsons kicked off. He's going to kick it deep. Franklin Simpson was lined up in their hands team formation, possibly expecting an onside kick. Unfortunately, the ball takes a straight left bounce.
And goes out.
And goes out of bounds, and Franklin Simpson will get it at the 35-yard line. Just a crummy bounce, not a bad kick by Parsons. It
have to say
just outside the hash mark and took a hard left bounce.
Might have been a nice opportunity for him to just get a little experience at an onside kick, but in the reality at this point in time, it was obviously not going to make a huge difference.
You can see the coaches, I think, on both sides.
Definitely putting in.
Trying to find some guys that haven't had an opportunity to play in the last minute here just to get a snap or two, get some varsity football.
Working towards that letter.
Absolutely, that's right. That helps. All right, victory formation. One of the favorites of any coach or player.
It's your favorite play to call?
It's your favorite play to call. Luke Richardson under center for his first varsity win. He's come to E-Town, and he's going to walk away with a W. It wasn't probably his best night, but boy, he operated as a cool customer.
Absolutely.
And he's going to walk out of here with a win, and Coach Preston is going to run the clock, and they'll take a knee one more time. And that ought to do it. I think they'll run it down enough to where this is going to be it.
We're just about
one more snap.
Well, we thank you all for tuning in tonight. I hope you've enjoyed the game. It's been a good night to kick off the season this year, and a good way to do that. And so, again,
Jeff, some final thoughts. Why don't you give us a few final thoughts, and I'll give a few thoughts and wrap up a beautiful Friday night under the lights.
Basic thought is, again, that Coach Brown saw a lot of this happening. He was no unmet expectations here, I don't think, but I think he learned a lot. I think his team played well. A lot of pride, a lot of execution bringing in there. You got to love the heart. A lot of good things to see the way that this E-Town team played. So I think they've got a bright future, young team, a lot going on.
Excellent performance from the 4A state champs last year.
Absolutely.
You can see where they're gonna be tested. Their young quarterback probably gonna have to grow a bunch, and just watching the boys congratulate each other on the field right now. It's just a great scene here with Franklin Simpson showing an awful lot of respect to the E-Town Panthers. But Carlos McKinney was amazing.
Absolutely.
Trey Bass, 2 of their leading rushers from last year. Interception from Javon Covington. The offensive line, which you don't talk about very much, of Woods, Burr, Randolph, Scarborough, Hunter, from Franklin Simpson. Those guys
absolutely dominated.
Road graders. They're tough. They're big, and they were able to do what Coach Preston wanted, and that's wear down the Panthers, and that's what Coach thought we'd see. Coach Brown was concerned about that. On the other side, the Panthers, a lot of good stuff, a lot of good athletes, some good players making good plays. Clay Games showing a lot of poise, making a few errant throws down the middle of the field. Other than that, and other than a shaky, nervous-looking first throw, was pretty solid throughout the evening. The numbers will look up and down a little bit here. But again, he's playing in his first start against the state champ and against a team returning a lot of guys. I'm impressed. I think a lot of
absolutely
Trajan Bradley,
impressed.
Noah Peeler, a lot of their offensive line. I don't remember Clay being on his back with the pass rush getting to him.
He had a lot of time.
A lot of good performances from running the football, and that's due to that offensive line and the good performances that they put in. We mentioned Joel Presto. We mentioned Markel Brown, but all those guys
great takeaways.
Did a really good job. They fought it out in the second half beautifully. The scoreboard's going to show 44-20. But I think Coach Brown, as much as he'll take young kids and do a lot of teaching with a lot of mistakes, he's going to be pretty happy with that this is a starting point for him for the year. Okay, just a couple more notes here. Let me, one last time, we'll mention Physical Therapy Associates, eTownApartments.com, Bluegrass Cellular, eTown Exterminating, West Point Bank, all of our sponsors for the year. We're so thankful for your support of Hardin County students and athletes. We want to mention that you should tune in weekly for rebroadcasts of all local HCEC-TV programs on Brandenburg Telecom and Comcast Cable's Channel 2 and Spectrum Communication on Channel 184. Thank our student workers here with Hardin County Television, Kaylin Brzozka, Riley Carrick. Thanks to Reed Sampley and David Tall, and especially Dale Mings, who does a great job with Hardin County Television running these broadcasts. Thanks to Dale. And Jeff, awesome broadcast.
Enjoyed
Jeff
the
Knoll
evening.
here with Paul Gray at E-Town Panther Stadium.
Look forward to seeing you more this fall at several different
nothing
places.
Like high school football Friday nights.
It's a great time.
Under the lights here, and I've just enjoyed this immensely. And we'll see you guys real soon next Friday. All righty.
This is a Hardin County educational community television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming is sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs.
Control your home even when you're not there with Brandenburg Telecom's home automation service. Turn lights on and off, lock and unlock doors, and change settings on your thermostat using your smartphone or tablet. Stop worrying whether or not you remember to close the garage door, and save money by programming your thermostat to reduce energy used when you're not home. Call Brandenburg Telecom for a free quote and enjoy the convenience of having home automation, phone, TV, and internet service, all from one local company.
You have a choice because not all physical therapy is the same.
So when you need physical therapy, come to the one chosen as Hardin County's Reader's Choice winner 4 years in a row.
We are always working to better educate and stay ahead of the latest advancements in physical therapy.
Physical therapy can get you back doing what you love to do.
If you're experiencing pain, loss of mobility, or just want to feel better,
come see us at Physical Therapy Associates in Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Hodgenville, and now open in Brandenburg.
Hey, Elizabethtown, need a new pad? Hop on over to eTownApartments.com or call 268-RENT for all your rental needs. Look for our trucks, they're all over town. We have apartments, townhomes, duplexes, and houses. remember to hop on over to EtonApartments.com or call 268-RENT for all your rental needs.
Life is made of connections between people, places, ideas, and information. From across the globe to the palm of your hand, Bluegrass Cellular helps you stay in touch with people who take the time to connect, and a nationwide network that lets you connect in no time.
E-Town Exterminating, a locally owned, family-run pest control company, has been serving Hardin County and the surrounding area since 1976. E-Town Exterminating provides pest control for residential and commercial properties. E-Town Exterminating on Ring Road in Elizabethtown. Phone 737-6900.
E-Town Exterminating. What the buzz is all about.
On behalf of HCEC-TV, we would like to thank all of our sponsors.